Okay, so today I'm going to continue this little chess spinning series I was doing, which is to almost I want to see how long. Well, first of all, I do like a little time format rotation, so I do each of these time formats till I lose a game, and then I move on to the next one. So it'd be like, you know, do only the first row though. Bullet, right? 1 minute till I lose, then blitz till I lose, then rapid till I lose, then 9, 60, 10 minute is the next one that I do, and sort of rotate like that. But within that, I was also saying, because this site is kind of not super, I mean, it's decently active, but it doesn't seem super competitive. I could almost be the highest rated. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Like, see, who is this guy, and is he cheating or what? But no, like, generally people are, this is what you see as the highest, and these are just who's online right now, I think. But yeah, it wouldn't be that hard. Like, I should be able to get 1521. So it's not a super competitive site. It's not as active as some of the other ones. So let's go back to here. So yeah, I mean, we just try to ladder, do whatever we can. Only reason why I do this sometimes is because it has, yeah, so many ads there. Otherwise, I don't really like the idea of doing it. But yeah, as far as I can tell, you can't pre-move and stuff. Although I haven't messed with the settings, or maybe you need a premium account to do that. But wait, how did I get over 1200 if I must have lost the last one, so how? Now we're double attacking that, and can he even cover it? I don't think he can. You take, I take. If you move the king, it doesn't do anything. Oh, I'm playing this too much like a normal game though. Like, obviously it's bullet, so I'm being a bit slow, but sometimes you should do it like that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Take here, I mean, he might have the same idea of just trying to trade everything all the time. And then, oh, I'd be so good in the end game that I could just win like that, but not really. Like, I don't mind even if letting him take my pawns. I just want to take his, but he's being super, super defensive about it in a way that's kind of uncanny. Like, why is he playing like this? Why? He's actually trying to do it with the king. Like, what is this, bro? What is he doing? I mean, he's taking a long time, and I won some of those just by flagging. He was just being really annoying there to giving checks tends to slow them down quite a bit sometimes. Or he just gave up his rook, but then I didn't even see it. I don't do rematches just because I don't want to feel like I'm farming the same person, but it's such a crappy kind of low quality format. Again, even at a higher level, it's still just a way to show off, and like, it's just not a good thing. Wait, did I even queue up? Or chances are you'll end up playing the same guy anyway because it's not super active and whatever, but you know, that one was kind of noteworthy because of the simple fact that you I played it at the beginning like it was a thing. Like normal, I wasn't even playing it like it was bullet at the beginning. So so the reason why that's so good is because of the fact that yeah, you can't even explain what's going on. It's not instructive. It's just dumb. Like both extremes I kind of criticize that way. I'll say he's gonna take a draw. Both extremes, like if it's classical and it's too long of a format, the flaws of the game come out from the perspective that, you know, it's a case where you what's happening? What I was trying to say is the fact that white wins on time. Okay, fine. If I could even say what I'm saying, like at the low level, it's like nobody knows what they're doing, so it's not instructive, and everybody's just making mistakes, and it's kind of not satisfying. At the higher level, it's like you're just kind of showing off, but you're still not playing the best you possibly could. Or no, I meant it more like as far as the time formats, what happens is in classical, oh, it's such a perfect game, then it always ends up in a draw the majority of the time, right? That's the flaw with classical. If you do long formats, it ends in a draw more than half the time. But if you do the fast formats, then oh, it's not instructive and it's too random and stupid. So no matter which way you have it, there's some flaws that objectively come out. So I'm not too happy with that, but you got to get in some degenerate flagging type mindset. And these formats are popular for that reason too. It makes it seem like, oh, you can just go in and, you know, you can just go in and not have to commit too much time. But I don't think it's very valuable because, you know, that's like saying you're doing it just more for show. Then you don't really appreciate or immerse yourself in what's happening. At least 10-minute, you can kind of do that. But even then, I find it's not really too good. This one actually should be fine because if I just take it seriously for the first few minutes, then I can always do something else later. Like you can worry about the time later, but it's just like, you know, you do it in such a way that yeah, that becomes the hardest thing in this capacity too. Like how do people even commentate and focus on doing all that when they're doing this, you know, at such a speed, but it's partly because it's not like I know what I'm doing in the first place. Or I'm playing it too much like it actually is bullet in this way that see sometimes they'll think it's a good thing just because you do it quickly, it makes it seem like oh it must have been a good move, but it's really not. I'm just kind of randomly doing stuff that would have like opened the king and done some shit. He can eat up a couple pawns and I'm just kind of letting him. We get the triple stack. Take another. It's like I don't even care. Wait, couldn't he have just not done it that way though? He could have like taken with the bishop first. Yeah, I don't know what this is. This is like the bullet mindset. Just make nonsensical, stupid moves and just yeah. We basically want to skip these two and then get to something a little more substantial. Because again, sometimes I still will play too fast in rapid, but then at least it's my fault and then I can't complain. Whereas here, yes, you have time, but it's just like you're not in the mindset to do that. Right? You're not even trying to do it. It's just not really satisfying. Even when you win a lot of these, it's like, you know, oh, you have to it's like you have to just you flag them and it's not really fulfilling. It's just like you win because of cheese, you lose because of cheese. So no, the bishop is actually trapped and has nowhere to go. Even here, I could take this is an interesting move for sure, but it shouldn't necessarily matter too much. I can go here, but I could still take What the fuck, man? Alright. I mean, again, it just puts a wrong sort of damper on the whole experience. Like, it's fine. I just don't see the value in it. I've never enjoyed them, but I rarely have even played them or indulged in them. So here, this is what I was thinking about with the 1200 actually. So that was bullets. I wasn't. Now again, I'm playing two. It just sets the wrong habits too. Like you're not really doing things that'll be good later. Like you're not trying to calculate. You're not trying to really understand what you're doing or have a plan. It can be one of the worst things to do that not only doesn't teach you the game, but it teaches you everything wrong and makes you, do all the wrong things because you feel like, oh, well, we get away with it because of time. You would take that's actually bad. That's actually just bad. Like, what was that? So I'm doing. Why am I even going this fast? Like, he makes a mistake, but he could have just taken it, and I couldn't do anything. I mean, having a theoretical bishop pair is fine, but I also like to trade a lot. Like, this position's pretty comfortable. I just maybe should have kept the other bishop. Or what I sometimes have been doing is like now I'll move the other pawn too, and I'll push it like crazy. Like, right? It seems like an overcommit, but sometimes that's almost what you have to do. If you go here, almost feel like a double stack would be appropriate here. It just feels like this pawn can be so strong, but it's often not. Or again, you're not meant to necessarily play like that. If I go there, he would take. It still wouldn't be worth it because the knight is going to be too weak to justify that. That's one of the knight's greatest strengths in certain ways. Like the whole octopus knight and stuff is just it's too weak to actually be taken. Like if there's only rooks left on the board or the wrong colored bishop, right? So there's nothing shitty enough to trade for it. So you have to settle for that. Like, so we've gotten to a relatively late game position by doing this, but we got to kind of harass him with these pawns a bit and try to make something out of it. You could take there. We're almost going to trap his queen though. You try to target this one, and I probably won't be able to cover it, but I'm willing to live with that. Or that you seemingly just gave up for free. You would take, I would take, you would take, I still can't take. But it's just more so my desire to try to make something happen. And here's where you almost get into the sacking of pieces, like where it almost would be worth it to do it when you have some initiative. You have to start to identify those positions. Like people like to sack stuff sometimes too often, but these kind of moments almost might have justified it. Like maybe that would be worth it. Take, and then you might actually have something worthwhile. You're certainly gonna win maybe a couple pawns back. Take and check, and then you can't go to the dark square. Just like you have to be sure of it if you're gonna do it. I would take, and then take that and check. but then there won't be enough really to. Still doesn't seem worth it. Like, I can't come up with a full sequence that would be worth it. Some of these people are better than I guess than I'm giving them credit for. They might target that again. I'll try to create like a double stack here. There's just certain general things you can do in principle, even if you don't know that they're good in that situation or you don't know exactly why it's good. You take, I take back, but we still can't do anything with it. So again, the whole idea of sacking the rook for there, it'd be interesting to see like in the analysis or something, whether that would have been good or not to do. Probably not. So bringing this other rook out would be very useful. His knight's in a pretty good position, but he's not really using it. Like there's something more that he needs. Or like my bishop is similarly in a good spot, but it's not. Okay, that isn't going to help me, so. He could like put the knight there and I wouldn't be able to stop it, but I don't know what that means. You should be able to take that and you'll still be covering that, so that was a pointless move. That knight is just a thorn in my side. It's so annoying. I don't know. This is where I sort of get annoyed because it feels like you have a check there. I don't think he'll be able to mate or something, but just do it. Just like you get sort of fed up or you don't want to actually calculate or think too hard. He had the ability to take that too. I kind of don't want to do that, but also he's going to have to chase this and he just has too many pawns though. That was kind of a dumb thing to do. Five versus two pawns. Like, why would I ever even do that when I maybe had a chance before? And this is covering a lot of the movement, but he'll do that. So he could clearly do something here to win, but I can't figure out exactly what or how. I mean, just these three alone would be enough. Man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I can really put forth the effort needed to do these because I don't get what it is that's happening. There's like a certain sense of boredom or whatever. Like I complain about the faster formats too, but it's just something doesn't feel right. I sort of trade too much and just don't really try to win in even good positions that I often create. Checkmate by knight use, but if you had done that, it still wouldn't have been stalemate, I guess. That's almost what I was trying to bait. If he had taken that, the king couldn't move as it was. Alright, so I guess I concede whatever I thought I was doing with that. I just can't quite... I don't know, it's just an effort thing. Like, I can't do what I'm trying to do. Which I have to respect somewhat, but it's partly just like... I don't know, you have to really enjoy it more. Because, yeah, I spend the whole time bitching about the faster format, but then when I have the time, then I don't use it, but that's just obviously my fault. The 960 can be good as well, because you don't have to worry about the openings and shit as much. Or again, the whole irony with that is people still do. People will still focus on and worry about the openings. Right, it's not that, oh, there won't be theory, it's just that there'll be a lighter amount of theory, and you have to remember them for each one, or there'll still be general things that, oh, in this kind of rough position, you do this. Right, it won't be as precise, but over time, you don't think a GM can remember 960 different optimal openings, like, the best one to do in this position is this. Like, they do that anyway, to a degree. Obviously, in more depth, because you can trust the position to occur more often, but and that's not even something you can really hold against chess too much. It's like you could do that with any game where you sort of beat it to death and just I just wish there was another active site, but I guess it was my fault for failing on uh failing my challenge on both of those. Right, chess 24 is gone. It got sort of absorbed by chess.com anyway, like bought out. FIDE Online Arena kind of sucks. But yeah, it just sort of shows you on one hand it's the effort thing, on the other hand it could be the study thing. And the reason why is because the reason why is because I don't know. It's too tempting to always do that. Like, okay, I'll just trade, I'll just try to simplify. But then that still shouldn't lead to me losing. That should lead to me like drawing. Right, like I go from winning position to drawing. It shouldn't be that you go from winning to losing or drawing to losing. But you'll miss like some better opportunity, not even because of anything they're doing, but just because, oh, I'd rather trade. So, oh my god. Fucking setup. I'll try 960 if anybody even does it. Yeah, that's one of the greatest monopolies in the world, I guess. is just chess.com, because there really isn't shit all you can do in terms of okay, I'm actually happy with that trade though. I mean, the bishop is better, bro. I mean, there's not a whole lot. I can take the knight, which is not a big deal, but now you go here and it's all cute because, oh, if you take, then I take the queen. Right? Little simple, stupid things like that can be valuable. If not, it's not really a big deal though, because nothing really happens. That made it sound like a capture when he castled. So again, you can't take there, but how much pressure can I really put on there is the question. And the answer is I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take. So he needs like another cover, and you may get to a point where there just isn't enough cover anymore on there. So it doesn't matter now whether it's pinned by the queen. It's just a question of I have too many covers for it. And also, if you go behind, it could be dangerous. So now we'd be setting up for a fork. If I could just that might be a little too simple-minded. Right, we're setting up for here, which I could go there anyways, like an octopus. No, not really an octopus knight though, because it's on the edge of the board. You know, you got to just keep trying little threats, but that's always a cute thing, right? Like, oh, it's pinned to the queen, but then it's not even about that threat. It's just that you're putting so much pressure that it turns into something else. That's one big mistake that a lot of people make is they'll like, myself included, they'll like tunnel vision on one threat and they'll be like, you know, you're just fixating on that. If that happens, you know, best case scenario type of thing. But there's no guarantee that's going to actually happen. Mm. Oh, I arguably fucked up, but it's still a 6 for 6 thing. So this knight is so annoying. Okay, he's not putting a ton of pressure. You can double attack this, but I have cover. The king in this position started off in a pretty good spot, though, in terms of the conventional position. In fact, it almost should be allowed to castle by that metric. I never really castle a 960 unless it's the exact correct position, like the king is there, the rook is there, and it would be technically legal in a normal sense, which is not really how it works, but it feels like I probably should have had a lot of opportunities in this one, but I'm just not seeing them. That would be great, but it's not going to be covered. So now how do I arrange the cover for that? And then they could still block it with a pawn, so it still doesn't work. Or wait, but I don't need a cover because it's the rook. But once again, it's still not going to be enough because you is not going to be enough because of the simple fact that you could just push that pawn, which thereby opens that diagonal for the queen to the king, but it doesn't immediately have a threat. And then, I mean, the only real response is you push the pawn there. He sacks it, surprisingly. He didn't have to do that at all. Maybe there's something worse about this, using this pawn, than what I thought. Or something better about what he just did, but sometimes this will be my mistake, like in the last game. I'll sort of let some of these pawns just go when I shouldn't do that. 'Cause I feel like, oh, I'm trying to do something bigger and better, but it won't be worth it, right? Like I'm trying to do an attack or actually make something happen. So material wise, that's fine. I mean, we got the rook, he got the thing, the bishop. That was really unnecessary. Like, why couldn't he just push that? Maybe there's something better, but I could have done. But what? Oh, he's checking. I don't like doing this because I don't know what's happening. Like, you're disconnecting the rook, so now that creates all kind of other problems. You're hitting this, which isn't covered by anything at all, and it's also covering that. So if you change anything with it, it could be a problem. And so this covers adequately the knight and the pawn. He's bringing in his own knight, which this could be problematic. But the forking potential here is pretty obvious. So this seems like a pretty necessary move. Sometimes it's not even, oh, the best move. It just feels like you have to do it. This is where the knights can be super annoying, actually. But we could sort of pin this down, and then what does he do? So you can't move it. And I could push a pawn to deal with it too. So in the meantime, you'd have to move the queen, which you do. Double attacking this. Oh, this is kind of sneaky because you're doing that in addition to hitting this, so you're not going to be able to cover both. Just like kind of bizarre positions that I end up in. It's like a weird move, but the king is just constantly in the way of the rook. So if you go here, we can definitely do the trade, which would lead to him then also taking that though. So I don't understand some of these positions. What always does is a 960. He doesn't even do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's because I didn't castle in a, cheat way that you're not supposed to be able to meant to castle in this mode. Like, I try not to do that as a sense of honor, but that is kind of BS, actually. Yeah, how are some of these people so good? It is kind of insane. Like, these are supposed to be just random people, 1200 on some shitty site. It could be my fault for expecting it to be so easy, but it's also just insane. I don't know who these people are. He could take there and then just do whatever he wants. Like, it's fine, man. I guess I'm not really even calculating basic things, but the problem is that the problem is that we're still relatively low on time. Like, I have been using my time. I just don't get what's happening. So I have a rook and a bishop. He has the extra knight, which might not even be that good to be fair, but I just can't figure out these games. Like, I don't know what it is that I hate evoking, like the Kramnik thing, but it's like, if we're in an over the board thing and you're sitting across from me and you're doing this, like, fine. And you're some random 1200 unknown person, like, fine. But I don't get it sometimes. Like, what are they doing? How are they doing some of these things? Just like, it's no big deal. Again, I'm not saying or expecting that I'm that good, but I don't understand what's happening. I could be the worst player ever, but again, who is this guy? Who is WYCK off 1222 on this, why does it feel like you're outclassed sometimes? Like, I'm using my time, I'm thinking, I'm calculating, like, I'm doing so many things. I swear, like, that happens on chess.com too. Like, everybody there who's like even 1500 and below is just a god. They see everything. They're just amazing. They're like professional players. It's like, dude, I'm not saying that you can't be good or this is not competitive, but how are you that good? Even here, we might have some vague chance of recovery, but it's unlikely. And I don't know, the kind of things you have to look for and do though at a higher level are just insane. So it's like a very long multi-move sort of sequence that would allow you to do something. Yeah, like I don't know, man. This guy's just a god, I guess. So forget. And even the speed of it, like, he's used about the same amount of time as me, but I just feel totally outclassed. Like, whoever this guy is, like, I should get lessons from him. How did you get to 1222? Because the difference between 1222 and 1212 is astronomical. Like, just he's way too good, I guess. He's just way too good. So even now, maybe we get into flagging territory, but I'm just down too much material. But here's where you definitely have to not trade. You're not allowed to trade anything because you might have some otherwise attacking chance. But now I don't have a choice. Now this pawn is vulnerable. Even this can be dangerous sometimes if it wasn't for, well, if the knight can't happen to cover that back. But in fact, he could have even done something by giving a check there. The problem is the extra knight that he has, and he's just got too much. Let him have it, man. Let the guy have his money. I don't know. Like, I'm just not good. And usually my record is pretty good in 960, where I tend to play better than I do. Like, I beat much higher rated players in that, or much more experienced players in that, than I would in typical, regular chess. Unlike the chess or whatever, it just seemed to be. Wow. Wow. I mean, that one I was actually putting forth effort, like, but it doesn't even let you analyze, I guess. It should give you a couple free ones, or like one free one a day. Or yeah, I even lost the one before that in kind of semi-shocking fashion. So I mean, again, these people are good. I mean, you like a good challenge. It's definitely impressive. I mean, you get a number of draws too. Just it's impressive. I mean, what can I say? All right, so we went through those formats. I guess what I could do now is the bot on the chess as well. Um, that's another like rating inconsistency too. Is like the bots seem very underwhelmed compared to players. Like, wow, a 1500 player on chess.com is better than like a 2500 bot, and I'm not even really joking. Like, that's actually kind of true. I was playing like Ding Liren's bot, and that's supposed to be 2800, and I swear to God, yes, he was gonna beat me, but guess who else also beats me? He was gonna beat me in the end game, and he's up by like +1 pawn. But guess who's up bigger than that? Oh, 1500s on chess.com. Like, there's something weird about it that it's not tuned entirely correctly, or they're kind of underestimating players, or whatever the case may be. So play with the computer, level 7. So the problem with this is, again, I don't take my time at all, and I'm probably not going to do that. So that's one thing that's impressive for kids who do it, who are good at chess. Like, how do they have the patience for it, number one? And number two, don't they get bored and whatever? Now you bring out the queen. There still is some way to punish this, actually. Like, since that's still pinned, there's something you can do here that's still good. Right? Because normally you would take, and then you can't take. You could bring the bishop there, but see, I'll just settle for, there might have been something better, but I'll just settle for it and just do a trade. Again, so far it seems pretty basic, and this is actually the kind of position that I would like, because it's relatively simple. We've traded a lot, and Yeah, I'm moving basically as fast as it is. So I'm beating a level 7 bot or playing a level 7 bot in literally bullet, right? This isn't a normal kind of game. It's literally a bullet game. He's trying to do the trade there, which to me would be wonderful and music to my ears, but maybe there's some benefit to doing it. Like if we don't do it, then like what would he is he gonna just do it? Okay, at least that lets me set up for like a double stack. So right, the initiative still goes to me. So he probably badly wanted to trade for some reason that I don't understand, for some attack that I probably wouldn't even do. So this could fuck up my pawns a little bit, but let him take, I take, as usual, harassing the weak link of the knight, which I can't blame you for doing. So if you take, I take, can't take there. Wait, now this one I have no choice. Oh my god. Unless the real thing is like don't take and then assume that you'll be able to take later. Because somehow I don't care. Like somehow you'd be able to take it later and it'd be fine. Like how do I even target that? Like I'm trying to think where would the knight have to be to target it? And the answer is it just isn't possible. You can't do it. It would have to be like down here and I can't. The knight just isn't a well-designed piece. I mean, I've said it a million times. It's just a nonsensical movement pattern. So even here, he's won like basically one pawn, which isn't a big deal at all. But in trying to acquiesce to the knight now, guess what's going to happen? We were going to try to go like here and then there, but now I can't do it because of this, or I mean, even here the rook covers. We can try to attack this. He could like take here, but it would be fine. If I do like this, oh, he can just take. Okay, that knight is so good. If you push, then I could take there still. And so one thing that I wanted was to almost target this in such a way that you'll hit this, which again, I accept that some, what? But how is that? Now he'll sort of pin into it, I guess. If I take there, he'll pin it. but then I can cover it, but then he'll go there, and then he'll go. I'll just do it. All right. Again, playing too fast and even seeing like certain again, fixating on like one thing but then missing something bigger or something different. Like sort of the tunnel vision calculation that you can have. It still seemed like a decently played game. And 88%, one blunder was obviously at the end. But that's all fine. So like what's something instructive that we could actually learn from? Even getting to that point was good because it seems like, you shouldn't be able to get to that point necessarily against a better opponent. Which obviously this must be better, but you're meant to go here, and then it comes down to some sort of cheeky threat of promotion, but then not actually a promotion because they're never going to actually let it happen, but you'll have to sack a piece or whatever. So this is good. It doesn't actually seem all that bad, but you'd have to play all these moves exactly right and really frustrate them with oh. That wasn't even the promotion issue. That was just actually genuinely trapping it. Yeah, she won that and actually became a grandmaster too in the same moment. Although I don't see how 24 30. Oh, that must be earlier in the event. Like, what is it that distinguishes them so much? Like they're just, oh, you're calculating a little extra, or you have like a little extra, you know, genius attacking. Because like whatever it is that they're doing, especially in the opening, it's like, oh, everybody's doing that. Everybody knows that at a certain point. So it's that little extra something, which that part must be satisfying. It's like, we get the drawish nature, we get the boring, repetitive thing, but there's something a little extra that you're doing where you can actually win. The winning is so hard to do, just in a basic sense, attacking and whatever. But like winning is so hard to do that it would be satisfying for that reason. But that's the thing. How do you actually get this win? How does it actually happen? Well, first of all, they had to sack something there, or I don't know why that happened. Why would they allow that? What? Why would they even do that? Like, there's no way to stop that, let's say, but why did they have to put the rook there? It's like they already know they're gonna. A nice deflection idea secures the draw. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm even questioning that, but not even looking there. Like, just okay, they sacked the rook just so that. But what does that have? Oh, okay. That way they can check there. Okay. That's so dumb though. See, that's like an honor code degenerate thing. Like, oh, sure you could get a draw if you want, but who wants one? I have that mindset. Like, I wouldn't want any game to be a draw. Like, at least let somebody get some satisfaction out of it, whether it be them winning or me winning. Right? I'd rather lose than draw because how exciting! 2 draws in a row. Humpy looks really mad. But I like how that's sort of trending now. You say that 10 years ago and you get called sexist or whatever, like, oh, there shouldn't be female titles. And then now it's like you get, now it's a trendy take and all this kind of stuff. I love that. You can be ahead of the curve and then it's a negative thing, or which I just said sort of casually in passing, but it was taken pretty negatively at that time, and that was the general response, like, "Oh, that's sexist," or "Oh, sports do it, so it's okay." But then the counter to that is, there is no physical advantage in chess, really. I mean, you could say, "Oh, physically moving the pieces on the board," or just that it's physically exhausting to sit there and play. But that's kind of stupid. Like, of all the things that couldn't have a physical advantage to them, right? Like, come on, it's not like a sport. You could say even golf or even tennis or something that there's some physical element, but or in a similar way that people make fun of like poker or like, esports. You'd say, oh, esports aren't real sports. But then, oh, ESPN used to show poker. So if they show poker, how is that not a sport or whatever in the same category as esports or, chess or whatever the case may be? So, and that actually is what chess is becoming, is like an esport, because they're doing like all these teams, like just the tournament that just happened with Magnus and stuff. It's like team whatever, Phoenix or some bird thing versus some other esports team. So it's like now they're actually fitting into that mold more so than anything else. Okay, so here I'll do a little bit of a different format. So it's one that I've done in the past, the permadeath game, not game mode round robin, as I was about to say, like I do that in certain games, but just a permadeath game gauntlet in general, like where so I'll do chess, Clash Royale, and Hearthstone, which I haven't played Hearthstone in a while. But what it means is I'll do, I guess I could do a format within the format of like, oh, I do each time format until I lose, and then that counts. But I actually won't do that. I'll kind of condense it, so it's like I'll do only 10-minute games until I lose one. Then chess is over. Then I'll do Clash Royale. I'll do one with like each deck there at least, right? Because we have the two decks. And then, or maybe I won't even. So we'll do this until I lose one. I'll do one of those decks until I lose one, and then I'll do some Hearthstone gimmick deck until I lose one. So it'll be very straightforward like that. So it's, I always love these permadeath formats, but that is, I haven't done that really too often, I guess, but just, it's a good way to sort of let the format almost dictate itself, that you're saying, this could go on, the whole session could just be this, right, if I last long enough. So that's the motivation, but if not, then at least we get variety in there too of different things. Yeah, I'm always tempted to take that knight there because then it means they can't castle, but I guess them doing this assumes that they don't want to castle anyway, right? Because just having this diagonal is going to be pretty hard to stop. So here's where I have to take my time a little more, just because there's some sort of sack play that they can sometimes do there, right? If they sack the bishop, but they need something more active like the knight. Yeah, that's basically what it'll be. I won't even do the multi format things like where, oh, I get multiple lives based on time format or, based on the DAX or something. It'll be a one off. So I only get the 10-minute format here until I lose. Draws don't count, obviously. I can still keep going, which in chess is like a cheat because so many games do end in draws. Then Clash Royale, I would just choose one of the decks until I lose, and then Hearthstone, I'll do one gimmick deck until I lose. So I had done it before, I think, with like Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, and chess, I think was one of my videos, and it got like a lot of dislikes too. Like maybe it seems like, oh, you're false advertising that it's permadeath because it's you know, it's not really permanent. It's just like a permanent session, which maybe that term doesn't do itself the most justice with that because, okay, this could be problematic. It doesn't do itself that much service because it's not really permanent. It's, I use that in certain contexts, like in Skyrim. My Skyrim permadeath run is like a hybrid. Not that I'm going to delete my whole file and character that I've spent like 1,000 hours on if I die. It just means that um it means that each session is permanent. So like if I start in the College of Winterhold, you know, at whatever point that I'm at, level 64 or something, and then I play for 5 hours, and then right, like is a permanent session meaning again you start in the College of Winterhold or whatever, and then you well, so only if you trade the queen would I do this, and in that case it's kind of worth it because now the rook file isn't as threatening. So even though that was a bit of an odd play, it's okay. Okay, my point was again, you do the session like you start in the College of Winterhold, then you play for 5 hours. You start at level 64. Now you get to level 66, and you're somewhere else, and you've done all this. Then if I die before the end of the session, all that gets erased. I go back to 64. I go back to the College of Winterhold, and then if I play like another hour and then save it, I only get that 1 hour of progress during which I didn't die. So that's the difference. Is like. Right, you only get to save the progress that you ah fuck. Got to be a way to basically trap it if you're gonna go that direction, like. But that'll fork me. There'll be too many places for him to go, so I guess I just can't do anything with that. If he takes, I don't know. Wait. Well, I guess this will be short-lived. Man, I can't even explain what the fuck I was trying to say. You know, you do the session, you only get to save it. So again, that's not really permanent as in permanent the way that the term would indicate, but you get what I mean. Like it's a you know, you understand the meaning of it still from that. And then the other format would be like again, these sort of game modes or something that I could do every single time. Right, like game modes within something or I could have taken that. Right, like every time, oh, I can do these game modes. So if I lose one, then I do the next one, etc., etc. And then the final thing would be the fact that of games themselves, right? So there's the permadeath session, which is like, okay, you can only save what you do since you lose or since you die. And then the permadeath session, you can only save what you do since you didn't die, right? If you die, it resets, and only once at the end of the session, like that. And then number 2 is that you can. Oh my god. I don't know what is going on with this, but okay. But if he takes that, then he actually kind of fucked up a little. Right, so it'll be the 2 pieces versus this, and then I have the 1 pawn. So he kind of messed that up based on the order of the sequence. Yeah, permanent session, you can only save once at the end of the session, so anytime you die in the middle. would be erased, so only from the time when you started till you didn't die, or from when you died till you ended. And then again, the session could just end when you die, period. But then I guess you would never make progress because like you go for 4 hours and then you die, then it ends. But the thing is that so again, that's the permadeath session. Then there's the permadeath sort of game modes within something, which means that again, like I'll do the time formats. Like I'll do bullet games till I lose, then I'll do blitz till I lose, then I'll do rapid till I lose, kind of like that. Or even in like 2K, I'll do my team till I lose, then I'll switch to quick match or whatever. So those can be done every single time. It just means that within the session itself, it's permadeath like that. And then finally, the permadeath games, like what I'm doing here. Those are like the different iterations, none of which are truly permadeath because it doesn't mean that like, oh, I delete my account or something like that. We would need really just one cover there. He should have used the knight a bit more effectively and he might have been fine because he could have always just sacked something for it. Or even he could be double attacking it. That's the thing. Oh, wait, I need this though. You can cover it with the king. Is an interesting choice. And then next move I should be good because no matter what you do, you could attack it with the king. Okay, you're just gonna sack it. It might not have been all that good actually, but no, he was winning this one pretty well, and then he fucked up. This sometimes you struggle with stuff like this where it's not super clear. What you should do, you just need one pawn to hang around. The end games are very, very annoying sometimes. The only thing you have to do is watch out for the fork, in the sense that you also want to like kind of just stop the knight from coming in altogether. So that would stop the knight. You see, I don't really know how to do this. That he could double take. If I go here, he could keep going. I'll try to keep bringing my king forward, but we're gonna get forked. All right, that's fine. And even with that, it could still be okay. But yeah, it just shows you like a lack of effort on my part. And I even say it like as it's happening, but that's so dumb. So we're constraining his movement quite a bit. Now he can go up there though. If he keeps going, that's fine. If you take, you go here, here, go here, he takes. It still doesn't matter because he can't get to mine, so. But it could be a draw, which is still fine. That would still count. Like even here, he can't go in closer, so what does he do? He has to go back almost. Alright. I should be happy that I at least even survived that because I started off pretty bad, but I don't know what this is. I was distracted by my explanation. basically just again, like there should be a different term for that almost, but you kind of know what it means. It just means you have to again not delete the file or the account necessarily in a true permanent sense, like what I did with my challenges on glitchmastertest.com. Like, oh, I failed the challenge, so I had to actually just delete my account. And then there's a high penalty, or it's very difficult to reopen it. I have to do like some other challenge to unlock that after like 6 months or whatever. But the thing is that um yeah, whatever. It's like temporary death instead of permadeath, but so we survived that, but I'm not too happy about it. I mean, at least there was like a super clear, obvious win that like I just some games you don't even get that clean of an opportunity. But then again, I was losing towards the beginning. So again, so much of this level just comes down to effort, and a lot of mistakes people make is by moving too fast when they don't know what they're doing in the first place. Okay. I don't know why so many people do this. It's not even good because you can't even do it. If you take, I take. Like, why is that good? I don't understand. Okay, I'm fine with that. You know, it does make me uncomfortable with the kingside pawn pushes sometimes, but you can't move that knight. The dark square bishop could be good, but I don't know how exactly. Full stack there. I don't know exactly where to put the dark square bishop. Normally I'd be inclined to do it there, but it doesn't seem all that useful. I almost would rather go here. So we are double attacking that, but it doesn't really matter because they have the knight. Or I could have just took that. But what could he do here that's really scary? He could end up taking this with the other rook. He takes, I take. Could bring the bishop down like that, or that could be interesting too. Even if you do it now, though, it doesn't do anything. Oh, but he'll like do what I was just saying, attack this. But it wouldn't matter. I could just go like here. What? Now, if it wasn't for that knight, I could almost do this where, or what this will lead to is you should be able to take that, the here, because then I can't take back, but I still found the one move that you can do that. Now I could take here, but I still can't. This seems cute, but then the dark square bishop can come in there. That like this is maybe just getting in the way. Back to square one, we have the triple stack, but again, that stupid knight is in the way. My light square bishop isn't doing anything. Alright, now we can do it. Yeah, and I like that. I have that knee-jerk reaction sometimes too, like where I'll do something, but then I'll see it as soon as I do it. So it shows you it's not like, oh, something advanced or whatever, or part of their master plan. It's just like it's something you could have seen and you had the time to see it. You just didn't do it. You just didn't look. We're 1200 exact, which seems a little bit underwhelming, but normally I would take a trade like that. I don't know why. In fact, I didn't. Attacking here, I'll gladly take that. Yeah, this is my kind of pace of a game, although sometimes you should try to do a bit more with respect to attacking, but I just, especially as black, like why wouldn't you take that as black? Right, at any level, it's like you're not meant to attack anyway, so right, you're meant to be more defensive minded anyway. I could like trap the bishop in there, which I also like to do for the trade purposes, or he could do the same. Yeah, this controls the pace a lot better because now it is going to be a much slower defensive kind of game. But he's still not doing the take, which is annoying. If he goes here, I take, he takes, let him take. And again, I always keep going with this, even though we go here. I mean, that's fine. Like, if he takes, I take, and that's an open file. Going towards his king there, I can make a double stack. I just sort of sometimes that's my insidious tendency is I go for trades too easily and I just kind of accept it. Right where I shouldn't do that. So we're already in prime double stack position. The problem is that no, I guess not. I mean, he can't go there, otherwise I would double take. So now I have to really demonstrate how good is a double stack really. And in this case, it doesn't seem all that special. But I almost wanted to trade the bishop for the knight here, which I almost never would say, but he's practically trapped for the trade. He'd have to go here or here. I don't know why I feel like my bishop's not going to be very good here. Anyway, I could go here and then, you know, we're double attacking this. Either we get the trade, then we can do it again. He can still cover it though. We're still hitting this. So like there's so many problems with what he has going on. He could shift this, but then I get this. He could raise this, but then I take and then he takes back and then I check and then I should be able to take either of these as well. Or no, I'm wrong though. I assumed he would take with the king. So now it gets a little stale where I don't really know what to even do with it. So this could still turn into a draw, even though that seemed like a good moment. This is the problem. Even when people talk about like, oh, higher level draw issues, it's sometimes not even like that. It's just how the game works. So you're always going to see that happen, especially if it's like, oh, an evenly matched kind of a situation. So here he can't really go anywhere though. He'll go like there. Yeah, this could just be a deadlock kind of dumb position too. So he goes back to there. A lot of back and forth potential movement. Now, I don't really believe that the bishop is better here per se in terms of the thing, but now he might have just given up the pawn because I don't see how he can cover that. So normally, though, I would have said that trade isn't good because the knight can do more in this position than the bishop probably. So by trying to do something a little bit with initiative there, he messes up. That's really what chess preys on, especially at a moderate to low level, is like, oh, you don't realize that it's a drawish kind of repetitive clown game, so you try to actually do something interesting, and then this is what happens. Like, right, it's not an ability thing. It's like he could have just not done that or whatever. So so you're better off just playing it safe unless you really know what you're doing, and then if you do, then it doesn't matter anyway because your opponent does too, so it'll still even itself out. Now we just go for promotion. I'm surprised he wouldn't try to come this way and try to stop it. But he probably knows that he can't do that anyway. That was a dumb move too, because if he just kept it there, I couldn't have done anything. Would that actually work? I go up there and then I go up with the pawn, then he has to move it. So if he takes the rook, I take and promote. If he takes, then I promote. It's a bit unnecessarily ambitious, but it shouldn't really change anything. So he'll move the rook and then I'll promote. If he just stays on the back rank, then I can't. But then if he moves away like here, but then I can just move my rook and it's fine. I sometimes just make it so much more difficult than it really needs to be. 12-15. Okay, why? Oh, just because it's going to be the same opponent every time, assuming I'm even that good, which I'm not. Like, let's see who's the highest rated player on right now. What? Oh my god. But no, it's like a 1500 or 1600 is usually the highest person online or whatever that shows up there. Like, so that shows you on the site that's the highest rated player, even though There was like a 3,000, but basically basically it's a situation where it feels like I could almost be the highest rated player on there just because he keeps, oh shit, that can always be dangerous if he just keeps going. Oh, for fuck's sake, that could be a very deadly pawn later on, especially with this. So, but he doesn't do it. They give them too many opportunities. Like if they just miss stuff, then, and it's not like I even fully understand the value of that. I just know that it could have been good for them, obviously, or even if it's not, they shouldn't just give it up for free. Yeah, I have so many like close calls like that where, I get away with a lot of things that I shouldn't be allowed to. This game is just very pawn centric at the beginning. If you raise it, I can easily take for free. If you take, I can take. This development is a little weird with the knights right now. I just hate that name so much for the knight. Like, it doesn't look like a knight. It isn't a knight. Like, fucking. It's a horse. The knight needs more representation, basically. But that's what you really have to learn too, as a psychological thing, not so much even a skill thing. Is like the willingness to calculate. Why are some people bad, or at the low level, what are people doing? It's not even that, oh, they can't calculate or that they're not doing things well. It's that they just don't. They're not thinking. They're not calculating. Anybody can do it to a degree where, right, you're just not putting forth the effort. Or you're getting overwhelmed. Like, oh, of course I can't do it because I'm not good enough, but that's just an effort thing. Like anybody can do it. You raise, I can still take. I can still take. What? I'm even extolling the virtue of calculation, but how does that happen, bro? How? Like, bro, explain to me. But it's kind of my fault because again, I let these pawns get out of control a bit too much in the beginning, as I was even saying. And why does this take you so long to even do? Maybe he'll make a mistake. Oh no, I blundered my rook, but like I'll still play it out since this is our last game then, but or he's just trolling almost. Because that was still very worth it for him. So now it's two knights and a bishop versus two rooks, two bishops, and two knights. Let's see if he'll make some stupid mistake and get cocky. But he could almost afford to, and he's still winning by so much. Like, that was a good thing, but I mean, it's one of those things that like doesn't happen often or whatever. I could almost like trap his thing in there. You can't come back there, and then but that's what sometimes happens is like you won't play to your potential, and then as soon as you start losing, now you will. So now you'll start to play better. Like, why didn't you calculate like that from the beginning? Right, you fall behind and then you start trying harder. Try to get maybe a little stalemate trick, which even GMs and stuff do that, or they should do that more. They should try to flag more. They should try to um get draws and shitty stalemates and stuff more, because what do you have to lose? Right? It's considered bad sportsmanship, but like in this recent one that's like the esports teams chess tournament, it's like, people are resigning when their opponent has like 7 seconds left. Yeah, they might be winning by some conclusive amount, but what if they do make a mistake, or what if they do flag right with like 7 seconds? Why not try to do it? It might seem cheap, but again, the one thing I always challenge though in this is the fact that when do I lose to something that I couldn't just see, or that isn't like 1 to 2 move calculation? And the answer is it almost never happens, because it never happens because of the simple fact that I could have seen that, like, oh, he just unleashes for the check, or you're just not looking at that, you're just not thinking about that. But in reality, you should be thinking like, I like how it puts the screen up for checkmate before you can even see. Right, it blocks, you get photobombed. The checkmate gets photobombed. You can't actually even see what the checkmate was. You have to first close that. Right. Like, maybe because I had the screen like that, but it seems like it just actually cock blocks your ability to see it. And so the point with that is, and yeah, that's like what happens in real high level chess too. Like, oh, the majority of high level chess games end in a draw anyway. So that's so boring. But then even when they finally end in a mate and a win, a conclusive outcome, what happens? Oh, they resign before you even get to see it. Or they, wait, what? Oh, he promoted to I was gonna say he promoted to a rook, but the point is, yeah, the majority of games are draws, but then the few times you get to see an actual outcome occur, it's because you have, oh, they'll see it coming ahead of time, like they know they're gonna lose, so they resign before you even actually get to see it play out. Or there should be like some rule like that where you have to force them to actually show the checkmate just because you actually want to see the outcome. Okay, so today I'll continue my little mini series on Chess Hotel, which is almost like my last refuge of chess aside from playing like in real life over the board, stuff like that. Because I failed my challenges, obviously my permanent challenge on chess.com and the chess. So therefore I can't go back on there really at all. Sometimes I would make like a condition like, okay, if I fail on chess.com, then I have to do some other challenge on the chess. Like I have to get to a new rating benchmark. Like, oh, I had said if I get to 2000 in rapid and classical on Lichess, then I get to unlock and reopen my chess.com account. But then I failed my challenge on there too, like where I get to a 50 mark, like 1750 for the first time, and then I'm not allowed to fall below the 100 mark again, so fall below 1700 at that point. But then I did, so that's a failure state. So the interesting challenge with this is the fact that I'm trying to basically get to the top of the site, sort of. There are people who are like 3,800 or some BS, but would it be that hard to get to 1492 and be higher than this guy, right? To be one of the highest players? You wouldn't really think so, because no, I'm not that good necessarily, but that seems like sort of a low bar. So I don't know how competitive this would really be. As much as I make fun, like, oh, this site's not going to be as good as chess.com or chess, it's not like I'm that good anyway to make that matter. Like, there's always enough people to play against, and they're not great, but they're about my level or a little below it. So like I should be able to be one of the best players on here again, king of the sandcastle effect, to say that, oh, it's not hard to be the best on this site, but you know, you're kind of shooting low by doing that because this site is going to be very limited in scope to do that. So I have some issue like towards the middle game to end game part where I sort of get lazy and I start to trade too much when I could take advantage of something. So that's my issue where I could take, they could take, I could take, they could take. Oh. Well, that I wasn't expecting. I thought they would take with the knight and then I'd be able to trade it, but it's still not a bad thing. What I'd like to almost do is to push this pawn. This is one of my few attacking sort of ideas that I always do. I guess I could show my chat here on the side since this side is so whatever, it has the ads and shit, which is still better than chess.com because that has the ads plus, you know, premium considerations and shit. The chess doesn't have either, you know, where you don't have to worry about ads or premium type incentives and whatnot. Although there is a premium on this site that you can do, but I don't see why anybody would really. You're gonna hide the ad there. I hate that thing at the top. Like that's such an annoying feature. Whatever that thing is, like it shows you all your windows and it fucks everything up. Okay, so he did this move here is fine. So we go here. If he takes, I take. There shouldn't be any crazy tricks and whatnot. Like my whole style. Okay, that's fine though. My whole style of play is like very anti-trick when it comes to that. Now even this is almost takeable, but not quite. And I can't let it keep going, so I'll do it. But they'll take. Now we can take this. We absolutely can take it. And the reason why is because it opened up the new attacker of the queen itself on there. So now they take with the knight, I take with the bishop, they take with the queen, I take with the queen, right? So I couldn't do it before, but I can do it now. So now if they take, I take. If not, it's not like I can't just move it. You know, there's nothing they can really do to punish that. So now this will create a problem for them. Although I was thinking, oh, I'll go here, you know, and you're threatening mate and threatening that, which even that they could react to still. But obviously the bishop needs a cover, so we probably have to pull that back. I don't see what the bishop there really does, but maybe put the knight there. I have to basically cover the. I guess this would effectively cover it, but then my queen can't come in very easily. Like I want to go back, but this is one of those where you almost can't afford to do that. To like waste a move doing it. And like I almost don't want to trade the queen either. So I could let him take, but then he'll check. That's the problem. This move seems kind of cute. But the problem with it is the fact that he'll take with the rook. And if he takes with the rook, then I don't know. This is like an octopus bishop type thing. This seems like a good move because it also addresses the. But the problem now is he can trade queens, which I guess I just have to accept, which normally I would like that. I am a very trade heavy type person, but. So that is a good anchor because again, you can't push it out with the pawns anymore. Octopus knight caliber thing. Very surprising he wouldn't do that. Now we have a very strong threat in the sense that, you know, oh, we're threatening mate and a bishop, although the bishop is covered, so maybe it's not that great. But yeah, let's actually try to take this seriously. So I'll go until I lose one game in this. I was doing like the permanent time format rotation, like where I play bullet, 1 minute bullet until I lose, then 3 minute blitz till I lose, then 10 minutes till I lose, then 10 minute 960 till I lose. But when it comes to this, sometimes I'll just do this where I'm only trying to do the 10-minute. And then if I lose, I'll do Clash Royale or something. Well, let's really try not to. And I can always survive with a draw. That's the fun thing with the permadeath chess stuff. You might think it's sometimes too harsh. Like, oh, if you lose or if you fail some challenge, you have to do it your account. But you can always escape with draws. Like, you don't always have to win every game or, whatever the challenge is, get to a certain rating. You can always cheese it and survive games with draws, which are very prevalent and so forth. So, you can always cheese it and get draws and whatnot. So now's like the final thing where you have to do one more thing to put pressure. And the problem is, this is the kind of thing that's hard to do. Because if I just take it, really doesn't do anything. And yeah, that's the problem. Like, and I kind of have to do it. It's so dumb. Right? That was actually building towards something, and now that knight will be under attack, but this is all pretty basic shit. The rook is under attack by the queen, but I don't really expect this. I don't really expect this thing to work with respect to. Oh, see, that's the trick. That's the trick. So now it's actually impossible for me to cover both that rook and the thing and the pawn. But I guess the pawn doesn't matter because now if you did, but I can't even take. No, but assuming he takes the pawn, then I take it. But for now, that's kind of scary. What the fuck? Thing is so annoying. Now, if you take the pawn, I take. If you don't, I can still take. Okay. So now he's threatening here. This is where you get yourself in a little bit of trouble with the stupid ass thing. Or now we almost want to go back and then he'll do it again. But now at least that's not under attack, but I can't even do that. So you want to cover this again with a rook. You don't have a lot of options with which to do that. So there's nothing. Maybe I just accept the fact that that pawn is going to go. We could trade this and then I'm covering that, but the act of him doing that would also allow him to then take it. Again, there's no way we should lose this. This is kind of my signature thing. Right? There's no way I should lose this, but that doesn't mean I'm going to win, so it could just be very tedious that way. I guess I can do that. Now you take, and then if you can't even take that, you're no longer double attacking. You can hit that. We can try to hit the queen. So at this point, it becomes very annoying because that's a good move, but there must be something I can do with respect to the take the pawn there, but the rook is in trouble and these pawns are in trouble. So that's going to be gone no matter what. That was a very good move. I can't really argue with it. I could go to the back rank or I could go on the dark square. He can take that pawn for sure. And I was assuming he'd be able to take this pawn earlier, but now he's getting this one instead. I mean, he had the double stack and everything too. So this part of the game I either struggle because it gets low on time or something else bad happens, but again, the worst you should lose from all this shit is the pawns. Now you walk into a double attack, so regardless of anything, but it doesn't matter because then he'll take with the queen and then I need another attacker. Fuck, man. I'll go there, then he'll take the pawn. Then he can't move the knight, but he doesn't have to move the knight. So yeah, and I was like, oh, he can't move the knight, but who cares because you get to... If I do that, he could check with the knight, and then I take... Oh my god. Now I'm in danger of flagging. It'll come down to that. He can't take if he does some cheeky check thing there. I'll go here. There's nothing really substantially winning about my position that I can tell. It's mostly just the fact that... So you can just stick around there though still. But then I can finally attack this a third time, but then... Now that's pinned very heavily. And... He could do the unleash, in which I take, then he takes, then I take, then he takes. Would that be good to do? He does the unleash. I take with the queen, so I took the thing, he took the rook and the queen, so that's still winning for him. So he has this check, yeah. Now if I don't take, well, I kind of have to though. That's so ridiculous. I mean, I'm done, dude. I don't have to do this necessarily. In fact, I shouldn't do it because without the queen, I don't know what I'm going to do. Right, the knight versus the rook is suicide. If I pick up a couple pawns here, maybe something could happen. This is so ridiculous, man. There's a certain stage in the game that I just can't do anything. There's something very odd that happens. Like, look at this. How is he doing anything like... I don't know what's happening. I can't explain it. So the knight is going to be pretty useless, but I can still stall it out. My time is low. Like, I'd love to see who these people are, honestly. I want to see who they are. I want to know who they are. It's just ridiculous. I can't... Everybody's just a god. You know, I'll evoke a little Kramnik thing, but I'm not even saying they're cheating. I just don't understand what they are doing. I have no idea. I can't even take there. The problem is that I'm just screwed, I guess. He could even keep going. If he takes, I take. He takes, I take. It's just whatever, you know. Let him do whatever he wants. Nothing I can do. You wouldn't want to trade the queen here because you might have some cheeky trick, you know, otherwise that you can do. And so now you have this. You can pin it. If you get this here, you might be able to do some kind of mate. Check here, take here. He's pinning it there. I can't do anything. It's just, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing you can do to a person like this. He's just too good. I don't know what to tell you. He's just the impenetrable fortress. Like, we could bait for a draw. Like, I got 30 seconds. Like, I'm fucking outclassed by this site, I guess. This dead, obscure, inflated site. I'm just stunned. Like, what am I looking at, man? It just shows you kind of have to study or do something else. I'm just not sure what to make of it. You can't give a check there. We're threatening mate there. We can take there. Like, this not going to matter, though. Because they know everything in the universe of how to play the game. There's nothing you can do. He'll do something crazy. Take here, or mate here. If he moves here, I check here. You know, it's a pretty strong position, but he'll easily get out of it. You know, that's just how he is. Um, so you would need some further. Fuck me. Some further little shit here. Like, why can't this be a threefold repetition, right? That he can't really block. So, or he'll block there, but like he'll go here and then what does that allow me to do? Nothing really. You gotta keep giving checks. I mean, I'm stunned. I'm really stunned. I'm just in shock. Is there nothing you can do like with the shit? With oh. What was that? Did he blunder his queen or what? Yeah, I'll give it to you there, man. ETRH. This guy's gonna make it big in chess. This guy's really something. Um yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I'm very impressed. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, these people are crazy. I'm gonna start going to some over the board type thing and like say I want to see who these people are because I'm not saying I'm even good, but what the fuck is going on? Why is it like? Why does it seem like always so even? Like, no matter what rating, what site. I guess I just sort of play down to my competition somewhat, but it's like, how does this even happen? Now he maybe blundered his queen at the end there, which I certainly didn't understand, but yeah. So even as much as I complain, but my time is so low. Even if I had done that, I probably wouldn't have won. Right. So he's almost doing that to show that he's not so perfect. What is the actual accuracy or whatever? That was insane, man. They just can't fucking make mistakes or do anything. I'm not even expecting to win. I thought you couldn't even analyze on here for free, but maybe it lets you do like one a day or some shit. It's all fine. I'm winning a little bit there. When does it start to really go downhill? Mostly favors me actually most of the way. So this move, whatever this move is, wasn't very good. That move was bad. So what should I do instead? I should push a pawn randomly that has nothing to do with anything of the position. Push this. If he takes, I take. But basically, I'll check. If he takes, I check. Or... yeah, like I saw that he could unleash check there, but that is mighty impressive. I have to give it to these people. They are... like, look, just... oh, no, I can't even do that. I don't know. Like, I'm speechless. I gotta just give credit. Everybody's a god. Everybody's the best player ever. It's just nothing. Now, why wouldn't it let me see that when I just did it? Let's look at it again. Again, these are all normal. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's not gonna let me do it, is it? It just, something seems extreme, though. Like, these... maybe these ratings aren't to be trusted too much. Like, the highest rated person right now is 1,500, which means 1,200 could be a lot better than that, but... I'm just consistently impressed with people. I don't know how you do that. I guess I'm just too slow. You know, I won't use it as an excuse that, oh, I'm giving commentary, that distracts me or something, but... oh, hey, sorry. I had my chat hidden. Actually, I played one game and lost, shockingly. No, I love how that I channel Kramnik sometimes. Like, who the fuck? Like, imagine you're Kramnik and you're like, you know, you beat Gary Kasparov in his prime and you're a world champion. You're one of the best players ever. And then some sweaty little 12-year-old kid online who's an FM beats you because he's flagging you or pre-moving and doing crazy shit. It's like, I'd be pissed too. I wouldn't necessarily accuse them of cheating, but it's like, you know, it would be hard to believe. So I have that same thing happen that like, oh, I'm not that good, but these people piss me off because they're just so good. Like they're so perfect. This is some random 1200 on this shitty site. Oh god, I hate that thing. So maybe that was really all I was planning to do, play until I lose, which I guess I stand corrected. Whenever I talk shit about a site, I get punished by it. Like, oh, I'm going to be the best player on this site because it's so uncompetitive and the highest rated people are like 1500, but then I get destroyed. Let's do some Clash Royale, I guess. Fuck. Okay, so today I'm going to continue my little chess hotel mini-series where I'm trying to almost be the highest rated player on this site because I keep making fun of how, 1580 is so unimpressive. Like, these are the highest rated people, at least on right now. But the problem is that I have been almost role-playing Kramnik a little bit because I'm very intrigued and impressed by how good some of these people are. Right, like this is a less active site than like chess.com or chess. It shouldn't be that competitive, low rating, 1200. So I think what I did on one of my best streaks ever when I got to like 1700 on the chess in rapid was I didn't talk as much. So let me actually try that. Like I'll be actually live up to my channel name and be like, okay, I won't talk too much, or I'll, not ramble about some unrelated thing and just be like, just solid moves. I play it safe. We'll do trades when we can, stop the pin. Like, let me try to explain my moves or just not talk at all. Just develop the bishop. It's hard to explain exactly why you develop it there, but you just do. I mean, it's just the right thing to do. I go for my little V-shaped structure here. Although it's important also not to fixate too much on that. Like, oh, I have a certain way of doing things. And then it's like, oh, no, that's not what you want to do. You want to go like here and then here, I guess. Give the Darksphere Bishop somewhere to go. Like, this whole setup is very good to me, right? Like, this is very much what you want. Now it becomes tricky because you want to do this, but then the act of doing that will also pose some problems. So it's not quite perfect. See, this is always a problem. When the knight gets threatened, you feel like you have to take it. Because if I don't take it, then he's going to take it anyway. He would take, I would take, I would threaten that. There's something a little cheeky you can do with this too. But only if his bishop isn't, if his rook isn't covered, you could like unleash check. But this is where the knight just fucks you over because it's just causing problems unnecessarily. Oh my god. Like, uh, the knight, man, the knight. It's always the knight. He's up a whole piece, and I don't think I'll recover that, but let me take my time. Yeah, I don't know. These people are good, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. You bring the knight there. He might fall in love with the idea of playing a little bit too fast, but it's a situation where I don't mind trading that. In fact, I kind of badly want to trade the shitty ass knight. One of them, like, there's no reason to ever have two knights. And I can say that with confidence. Like, having two knights, one is always only going to get in the way. So, like, why would I want that? Might seem like a bad move, but I can't resist the urge to harass the knight a little bit here. So, now if I just had a check or a good threat, I could totally do that. Because even this seems cheeky, but if he pushes, I take for free. And also, we're threatening that. So we're kind of... then again, you can just take here, but then you can't take here because it's covered by this. So it's a cute situation that I've created, but it's not really going to be too effective. Also, if you move the knight, I hit here. Like, there's a million different things going on with this. But watch him get out of it with ease. Right, if you move the knight, I take here. If you don't move the knight, I take here. If you move the pawn, I do this. I go here and just take and check. And then we go here because now what happens is you're also threatening here pretty heavily. So he almost has to do that trade. And now we can wait. I would take, he would take, I would, yeah, I can do it. He would take, I would take, he would, oh wow, that kind of crushed him. That destroyed him. Look at this, dude. Wow. Wow, that was a pretty good sequence. So now, even after all that, I basically just recovered my shitty thing from the beginning. But that might have actually been a fuck up though, because uh yeah, because if I move it, wait. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take. I take a rook, he takes a queen, I take a queen, he takes a rook. It would be basically even, but wait a second. Okay, this move maybe deserves a bit of calculation. So he takes, if I take the rook, he takes the queen. Then I take the queen, he takes the rook. So we're both down a rook and a queen, so that's fine. And then I should easily be able to win from there, but I don't know. I don't get it. If I guess I don't have a choice. I could have taken the bishop, but then he takes. Why am I not up more than this? This is very close to promoting, actually. And his rook can't come in super well, so he could bring in his, oh god. He could bring in his queen, or I mean his king. If he comes there, I can check and take the pawn there at least. You know, you got to get some compensation for it. Even if it's not what you actually think or what you exactly want, right? You'll get something for it. You come in with there, okay. That would be the dumb thing. Like if I get absolutely nothing for that and he just takes it, that would be incredibly dumb because like how? How does that happen? If you take, well, you take, but then I take, I guess. So if you bring the dark square bishop again, the act of him moving the dark square bishop there was unnecessary. It didn't even do anything. That's pretty good too, because now he's blocking it. So, fuck. Oh my god. So he's gonna take that, and now he could even do maybe some sort of cheeky unleash in the process. But how do I just target one of his pawns? Like, I don't understand. Now any unleash you do won't matter because I can just do that anyway. Cover with the king, so if you take. Now, the knight actually is better here from the perspective that even though my pieces are all on the dark square, the knight is better. And the reason why it's better is because of the weird way that, you know, it can like touch every square and so forth. So that, you know, I can cover every square, whereas he can only touch the dark square. So it is very limiting. And so now you, but it's just very difficult and you almost have to rely on the king a little bit. Let's try to bait him a little bit to like, oh, I want him to push that pawn. That way. You know, because the knight. Oh no, but I can't do that. Fuck. It's hard to. I mean, again, this kind of position should maybe just be a draw, but I want to do something like that, but I can't do it as long as this. I can't do it as long as the. I don't know. So we did pretty well here. Again, it's gonna be a draw, but you're gonna have to get. Yeah, just accept a draw. I mean, I can't beat these people. They're just too good. They're just too good. I mean, there's nothing I can do. It's impossible to beat a 1200 rated player on an inflated site like this. You can't do it. It can't be done. Like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but it can't be done. So now you're gonna take this. You're gonna somehow take this. And the problem with doing that is the fact that I just don't understand. Where would I have to be to cover that? I'm gonna fuck it up now and lose. I mean, you could take the knight there, but I can't do it. Oh man. Now my king is much closer, but it won't matter. I give up, man. I can't do this shit. I don't know what these people are on. Like, what is this, man? But it's my fault too, because like I'm playing as if it's an interesting game that you're gonna try to play for a win or actually make something happen, and you just can't do that. So he'd have to get all the way down like to the knight. This isn't technically covered, so he should actually lose that because should actually lose the pawn. He's gonna double attack one of these. He's gonna win. I mean, he's gonna definitely win. He's way faster. He's just way better. I should have taken the draw. I didn't have to do anything else. Or maybe I didn't know. Wait. Oh my god. Um. Wait, but it's a check. It's a check. So maybe it buys me time. It buys me time, so now I can sack, and I'll still lose. I'll still lose, but it's okay. I can sack it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, that's weird that he wouldn't. Um. I mean, he does it. I sack. I'm done. No, it's there's a certain lack of enjoyment that I get. Like, could I not have drawn it there and then just accept the fact that that's how chess works? Like every game is a draw, even at a low level. Like, why is this happening? It must be my style of play, but also that's a result of just like that's how it works. Like, it's so stupid. Yeah, I'm stunned by that. But again, it's my fault for even having that delusion of it being somewhat interesting. Like, just play for it then. Play for the draw actually. Every single game ever, and if you win a couple by accident, that's the right way to do it. Give me a stalemate would be nice because I love how it kind of photobombs the actual checkmate too. You don't even get to see it. So let's analyze it and just try to understand what we're witnessing because I have no idea. I just don't even get it. I can't explain it. Everything's fine. I'm kind of controlling the position. So this is a bad move somehow. You're not supposed to take. You're supposed to go to this weird square here. That just seems to make no sense. Bring the unintuitive. Bring the knight to the edge of the board, and apparently you're winning. Well, because you won a piece there, but then I come back. I win that piece back somewhere here, or apparently not. Even here, it's still fine, but then he has to just take. Blunder that, so we get that for free. We get it back. Then we're winning. So here I was supposed to see, this is like cheeky. I even thought about that, but that's a cheeky move. Like, we do this, and if he takes, then I take and promote. He takes. But why does that even matter? Like, I move the pawn up, then he takes my queen, then I take his queen, then he has to take back, and while he takes back, then I get his rook too. The first rook that took the queen, I guess, because yeah, I even thought about doing that, but and it's not a huge deal that I didn't do that, but this ends up going to waste really because you can't protect it, and then at what point here does this, because again, I even say, oh, the knight should be better here, but it's a draw. It's a draw no matter what. And then somehow, like, well, you're supposed to go there, and then what? You go there, he goes there, and then what? Oh, okay, you'd be able to cover. But it's just simple, stupid things like that. Like, oh, just the end game is, I don't know. I'm just at a loss. Like, I can't even explain what's happening. So I'll do maybe the time. I don't feel like even doing this. Can I even cancel the queue or what? I'll just abort. Um, it's just something shocks me about these opponents. Like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't take much. Like, maybe my level is just, it's very instinctive, improvisational. So if people have some fundamental knowledge, it saves them a lot of time, like in the opening, which clearly people must have, or, everybody's like a tryhard. It doesn't mean they're good, but it just saves them effort. A lot of my effort is spent on areas that they already know what to do, like openings and stuff. Like, I don't know openings, but you might think, oh, these low rated players aren't gonna know them, but that's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Like, they might know them better than fucking, I don't know. It's just not. It doesn't feel genuine, right? It feels like something is unnatural. Even at a low level, right? Even on these random sites, something just feels very, very deliberate. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with studying and stuff, but it just feels surprising that, oh, I'm playing this too much like a normal game. Gotta basically pre-move it, even though the site has shitty feedback for that, where it doesn't actually let you do that. Or sometimes you just do like filler type moves just to do them in a way that, oh, whoops, I thought that was takeable somehow. I don't care. I don't even know what that did. I don't care. Okay, I misclick. Okay, dude. Okay. You take with the king, take with the knight. I don't know what's happening. Okay, fine. I really am role playing cramming because like I'm clicking slowly and I'm being a clown. I just kind of give up maybe too much, too easily. It's one thing if you're, at least that I don't even care about that format because it's like, I don't care about the faster formats, but there's something about that 10-minute that just doesn't make sense. And I didn't really keep to my intention that, oh, I shouldn't talk as much. I hate to use that sort of thing as an excuse, but maybe, some extent. I always get to those kind of positions too. I always get to the end game. I always get to something, and then I just have to put a little more effort there. Right, where I even said, "Oh, the knight should be better here." And it's not really that I was winning that the knight's better, but it's more like it's not that the knight's winning, but it should have been pretty solid, but you have to play it like exactly right. That's how the opening and the end game is. It sort of shows you the solvable nature of the game. Like you have to play the opening exactly the right way, otherwise it's just bad and you're gonna lose. Or the end game, like, oh, this is so easy and so obvious once you know how to do it, but you have to do it exactly the right way, otherwise it's it just doesn't work. So I really hate that I'm imprisoned to the site though because I failed my other challenges. Okay, let's just do what we gotta do. Here you really shouldn't even play too fast. Like the first 2 minutes, just like take your time and just like what is it that's causing me to lose? This is an instructive moment in the whole chess experience. What is it that's causing a player like me to lose who is so, defensive, so solid when it comes to everything else? What is it? It's the end game is either playing too fast at the beginning, which I'm not going to do now, or like again, something in the end game, this is kind of cheeky where like I just mess up there either because I'm low on time or because of something else in a way that okay. All right. All right. I mean, again, playing too fast. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done, man. That's too bad. Just too bad. Yeah, I mean, this is where I really resent those faster time formats too, because that's what it shows you is like it's gonna teach you the wrong things, like value time over actual ability or actual good moves or anything. Like, man, uh, do this now. So he's not even up a piece per se. He's just up the rook for the knight, and we all know how shitty the knight can be. So the time wise, see, we have plenty of time because there's very little material left. So if I just didn't blunder that outright, something relatively obvious in the early game, this is an octopus knight too. Although normally you want this file to almost be open to really flex that. And so now, I don't know. This could be a good could be a good potential double take. Like again, it's only like a +2 that he has. So if I win like one pawn, now it becomes a +1, and it's like, oh, is that already a fork? See, this is the thing with the Octopus Knight. Well, I don't know if now is the time to do it, but God, I had it too. Now we check and I can take the pawn just like that. The problem is that wait a second. Oh, it's because of that that I lost the cover for it. Well, if he wants to do it like this, that's fine too. You take. All right, so I miss a fork there. That's pretty obvious, and you have the octopus knight. So we'll see if that really equalizes with the value of the thing of the of the rook here, which it almost might, but in fact it almost already did. It's just wait, yeah, that's like a free pawn. So is he gonna have some okay, he's low on time too. We're hitting this. Like, is he gonna have some brilliant response to this as well? Here. Alright, so you can't target this still. The knight definitely did its work. I mean, we should win on time now. Be a degenerate flagger here. Give a check here. We get a fork. One mechanic you gotta look for. The knight definitely earned its keep. I mean, I got no problem with it. It more than equalized its value, even with the earlier fork. See, that was really the mistake I made. Is well, first of all, this, which is nonsensical. Like, what about this move is it like, oh, they're not doing anything. I can just, move the knight, whatever. But here's where I had a fork at some point here. As soon as he does that, right, I have the fork there. I could have just done it, right, and everything would have been fine. They can't give a check. They can't do anything, right? That would have potentially won you the game right there. That's sometimes all you need, right? Just find like one little thing. Um, so yeah, that 10-minute format is mind-boggling though. How people play, I don't know how they do it. Where I can sometimes be so good that I can't believe when I am getting beaten like this. There's something about like how I play that's like I dictate the whole pace of the game and the style, right? Like something defensive, something slow, something trade heavy. I'm sort of dictating all that, so it's hard for me to believe when see, now you're almost meant to do this, but what if it doesn't work? That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. Fucking like, I don't know, man. Now, what if you push the pawn? Then it's gonna be trapped, but like you assume they're not gonna do that. Just harassing the knights with the pawns. But yeah, I don't see why you can't do that. It's not something that I typically. I don't know. You could raise that, but then that causes problems later as well. So aside from that, you could move the queen like here. Assuming I just want a castle, like right now we're threatening this. Even if he does threaten the knight now, I can just get away with not doing that. If I just castle, everything would be fine. I can actually take that, but again, there's too much going on, so I'll accept it. Even now, the knight would be takeable. Like, you can just take it. You can have it. Right? There's nothing I can even do. It's just an unbelievable piece that this even exists in the game. Like, what is this? What is this kind of piece that's just going to hinder you the whole time? Right? Like, why can't you do that move? You might say, oh, it weakens your position somehow later, but, you're not at the level where you're going to be good enough for that to be relevant. So, oh my god. Go here is just an awkward spot to go. Go here. Actually, here it could be fine. Like, just a nonsense piece. I mean, really just disgusting. So I'm just trying to finish developing. Again, I've given up on that knight. I don't even care about it, but double hit that, but we'd have to get rid of one of these and process. I could do just a trade here otherwise. Okay, okay. Alright. Alright. Oh, man. Yeah, the faster formats piss me off, certainly, because it feels anti-instructive. It just shouldn't be valuable at this level, but I still sometimes do them. I very, very rarely have actually played them, to be fair, but those 10-minute formats, though, are very odd because it's a situation where that should be better for me, but man. So he's up on time, he's up on material. Let's open that. Probably gonna trap me or some shit. Yeah, alright, so I'll have to try that sort of thing, maybe. If I just like, okay, I won't talk at all in a 10-minute game and see if that makes a difference or something. The 10-minute 960, so this is like the format I was doing before anyway. Before I was just trying to ladder in fucking 10-minute, like where I play each kind of time format till I lose in some capacity. Okay, so the bishops look pretty good here. If I just, put them on either side or something like that. And sometimes you can trap pieces early or do like weird stuff in this where there's like a hard and stuck. Not that it'll be unfair, but there'll be like some hard stuck thing like, oh, on move 4, if you don't do this exact sequence, your queen will get trapped or something. This is free. He tries to be all cute with that, and then this wouldn't really be a pin. The pawns in the middle are hard to assess, but the knights are in a bad spot then. We're gonna have a weird, this is gonna be like a chaturanga type fucking pawn structure. Yeah, that's what you should do if you're trying to learn the game, is like don't do these faster time formats and don't kind of split yourself between too many different ones. Like pick something that you want to commit to. And classical probably is the best way to actually learn, but because you actually have to think about what you're doing and actually have time to process and try to figure out what you're doing. Again, even if you say, oh, at this level, what you're doing is going to be shitty, it doesn't matter because it's like, it's still, you at least are putting a certain amount of thought into it. So it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, that's going to fuck up my bishop kind of. See, he can't even take. That's the thing. He can't even take it. So what if I try to put another thing on there? But then that doesn't work. If I could put another attacker on there, it would be good because of the simple fact I could raise it, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Right, because now my I mean, this is my defensive kind of clown structure, but that I always tend to play so defensively. And the one thing I hate to do in 960 is castle. It always feels cheap. Like you shouldn't really be allowed to do it. But then again, I say if the king is in its normal position and the rook's in a normal position, then you should be able to. So obviously not here. Like, you know, if the king is here and a rook is at the end here, then in my mind it would be legal, but there's all kind of other weird castling rules. I feel like in a mode like 960, there shouldn't be castling at all. Because, well, again, unless it's really the normal legal position, but the whole point of it is it's in its own world, so it shouldn't really follow stuff like that. But do a cheeky little thing here, even though it's still a waste because you're not going to be able to go anywhere good with it. It's going to be like, you know, oh no, I blundered my knight because if you take it, I take the queen. The problem is there's nowhere actually good to go with it, even if, you know, if you wait or if you move the queen somewhere. They're just kind of in the way. You could go here and you could push it out. I don't have to move it yet, but I just want to move the fucking knights. Now, again, you still can't take as long as the queen is there. So the queen would have to move somewhere in a cheeky way and attack something that make it worthwhile to do that. Right, then I have to make sure I move the knight. You can go here. You can still push it out. Look how the knights just get in the way. It doesn't matter what time format. It doesn't matter what mode. Like they just completely get in the way all the time. So now the rooks. This actually looks okay aside from the knight being on the edge of the board there. Some of these people don't even have accounts; they're just guest players. But of course, everybody's just a god at everything. Like I don't know. You have to have like some sort of plan that is hard to do when you don't really know what you're doing. And my plan is often just to trade everything all the time when I can, which itself is valid because, okay, if I don't want to attack or I want to play more defensively, that's a legitimate thing to do. It's just, and either of those I don't really like as an option. Like, oh shit. Let him take it, I'll take the shit here. I don't care. He'll take and check and then still take, and he can just fuck me over here. Yeah, that's too bad, man. It's too bad that I just lack the interest to actually do this. I don't care. So here I can double take. What is even the material position after that? We both have a queen. I have a bishop and a rook. He's gonna have 2 knights extra apparently. It's just wild to think about how that happened. What was even the mistake there? Like, there's a fork, and that move I made is totally unnecessary just because of the aesthetic pawns and whatever I want to do. So I decide not to worry about what he's doing, and I'm just tunnel visioning on, oh, this will be like a cute little move with the knight that I don't have to make at all. He'd have to blunder a couple pawns and one knight, and maybe I'd have a chance. He goes here or there. Let's make it actually difficult for him, but I am kind of not in the mood. Yeah, I just don't really buy it, actually. The way that people play is fucking crazy. Like, it's just stupid. They're showing you a great deal of study that people do or something unusual. So that's also going to be covered, but I can't do anything. Even force a trade and win another. Or no, I guess not. Oh man, I should have had this ready, actually. Alright. Yeah, most of those I don't really care about. Although 960 I tend to be pretty good at, actually. Comparatively, but just that 10-minute game was bizarre, and it keeps happening, and I don't understand. I honestly don't get it. I don't like to feel like, oh, I'm complaining, but I don't get it. I don't know how this is happening. There's something in the end game that seems to be my weakness. That right, end games are my weakness because I always get to them. I always get to them in a solid, favorable position. There might be certain advantages I have throughout that I don't take advantage of. Like, you know, I could push for something, but then I just settle for a trade. So that's my big weakness. But you can't really blame me for doing that because you're not always going to see everything, or it's just so much easier to do. Okay, so today I'll continue this Chess Hotel miniseries yet again. And so the goal is to be, oh, I'll try to get to the highest rating possible, whatever. Like right 18, well, that's a little higher, but a lot of the time the highest rated person on here is just like 1500 or something. So it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? That I could theoretically do that, but let me try not to get so overwhelmed by time or something. I keep getting tilted because I just can't believe how some of these people are playing, but I can get to an end game pretty comfortably with how I play. I just can't, that's when I have to really try extra hard. Like all this is comfortable, familiar. I have to not move so fast at the beginning, and I have to calculate a little bit more at the end. Those are the two things that I have to do. It's okay if he takes here and I take. In fact, I would even like it. This I usually don't do, but if I do this, then it's weird because then he takes and then I take. But now it's not even pinned anymore. And now I can take with this, I don't have to worry about the pawn. So he has to make a decision, so he doesn't want to take it then. That gives him the freedom to escape, though. What is normally a trade that I really like. And then... but yeah, let's take it seriously all the way. Like, I have these lapses. There'll be like one move that I just am not paying attention, or towards the end where I get sort of tilted. So I have to stop doing that. Where sometimes these players are a lot better than I'm expecting, but it doesn't matter. Like, I can still do it. It's just these bishops are in a weird spot. And of course, the knights were constantly triggering me as well. Like, you know, where they they just constantly get in the way of everything. If I'd be willing to even go here, but then the problem is that pawn ends up being really shitty. So there's really nowhere to even go. But yeah, that's right. Trading off a knight early is very, very good, especially if they do it for you. Like if he had taken the knight with his bishop, that would have been amazing. Let me just move this out of the way. See, that's often my movement pattern with the knights, is just move them out of the way, get them out of the way. But my bishops are not in the greatest spot. And the reason why I say that is because they're just kind of... Now he's actually threatening a mate by doing this too. Like he could have, that was actually a bad, he could have done this. No, but I guess he's not threatening me immediately because the knight's still there. But now because the knight's gone, he can push this pawn with impunity here. And then he's actually threatening a mate, which is cute. I mean, it's not like I can't deal with it. It's just kind of surprising how easy that is. So he has it set up. I had to pushing that. Right, so that's something you could easily miss. I don't think I have much of a choice here aside from... You could do a move like this even. So you could end Pesant. Like, this seems like the main move, so it's fine. If he takes this, it's not a big deal. If he takes the bishop, it's not a big deal. That also is kind of a big deal, actually, because if I was to take, then he could take here. I can't even take. But then if he takes, then, oh, I should almost do like this then. So he takes, I take, and then it's still secure. So we'll have the bishop role playing as a pawn. But that's still acceptable. If he went here, right, the bishop would be trapped and such. So I almost have to do with this. Because if not, then this goes in. Again, I could take it now, actually, though. He takes, he's threatening here again. I could do this because I have the bishop cover there, even though this... I mean, these positions are getting wild. Like, I don't know how... It doesn't mean he's entirely comfortable with it either, but it's just weird. So you have this. I almost want to go like this and just kind of settle the position down, but you can't do anything with that. You can take here. If he takes, I take. You still can't take there. I could take here and then... Just kind of want to settle everything down. So you can never take there. You can take the rook, I'll just take, then whatever you do with the queen shouldn't matter. Right, as long as this bishop is secure on here, I'm fine with it. You still can't take, right? I'll take the queen. You could check and then maybe take with the other thing. So here, it doesn't seem that bad. If I go here, I'm covering the pawn again. He can check there. I can take, double take. What may happen is he may double stack now. And so maybe I'll go here instead. The double stack is predictable. The thing is, it shouldn't matter because where is he going to go with the double stack? You can't go here because the queen will be there. You can't go there because the bishop is there. So now you need yet another piece, which could be that knight coming in here. Which may still take a while to get involved, but... Oh, here we go, dude. Here we go. You go here, maybe you give a check. I can't take it. Then he'd take here, then he'd probably be able to take there. If I go up with the king, then then what happens is he can check, take, and then I can't take. You have to sometimes put pressure in these situations, like how is he this fast? This is where I'm just demoralized. Like it's just too much. I don't know how you can play like this. Like, does he actually know what he's doing in this position? Like how? Even then, it's still okay because I can pull this out behind here. In fact, I almost have to do that, but that is a very strong knight position. It maybe seemed like I had the... It maybe seemed like I had the ability to take that pawn, but there was too much else going on, so I didn't feel secure with that. Now, he's afraid of that, but the thing is... This knight, now it's getting like kind of claustrophobic with these pieces. So you still can't necessarily do anything. But this knight is in a crazy spot. You'd give like a check here. There, like, there by opening, taking, then maybe something with that. My knight can't really do anything. You see, this move is tough because it's like you almost don't want to move anything. Everything is kind of fine and secure, but I don't know. Like I'd almost try to just bait for a trade at this point, but I don't know how to play this. He could just probably win. I can't fucking. You can't get discouraged. Like this is where I fall apart. He's played very well, and this position is very odd, but it's still okay, right? I could still survive it. I just feel like I'm sort of outclassed. I don't know what it is. I got to try that strategy, or like where I don't talk at all during a game, or I talk less. But okay, just go for it because, like I said, I can't. I just can't deal with this. I have to trade something, or I could almost put this here, which still wouldn't be that good. All right. All right. I mean, I'll give it to him, man. I can't do it. I think I get too rattled by time. See, even though I have plenty of time, I just wow. It's pinned, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, he wins. I mean, he wins. It's fine. Nothing I can do. Now he could check, and he can do something there too. So like. So that doesn't. Oh, you can just go there, but I could still take. Yeah, I mean, if you can explain to me how this guy is so good, I would love to hear it. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, I gotta put this in some other. I don't like to say anything. Like, I don't know. I gotta put this in like a fucking other engine or something. Uh, analyze chess game. It's not even me being salty or anything. Like, I don't get it. Like, this guy is so good that he should be like a professional player or something. How are they playing like this consistently? I guess the ratings on here might be deflated somewhat. Everybody's 1200, but that means these players could be pretty good. Right, somehow, like, 1200 on here actually means more. It doesn't really give you, like, a proper accuracy on here. But no, like, let's try to learn from it. Okay, what should we have done? I mean, again, and I'm usually playing pretty well. And then I make, like, one mistake there, like, we just aren't paying attention. So here I'm supposed to like bring the rook to the middle. This isn't a great position for me, but you can still survive these. It doesn't mean they're guaranteed to win. Right, even with all this, it doesn't matter. He still kind of gives me a chance of, or maybe not. Like, what was it that gave me the chance here? He's there, and then he gives it back by doing that. So I even thought about doing that, but then what does it do? He can still... He takes, I take... Isn't he going to promote then if I do that? I go here. Then he takes it. What? I go here, he takes my queen. Then I take his queen, then he promotes. What the fuck? This engine is kind of dumb on here. Let's look at it from his perspective. He made a good move. Good. These are all good. Maybe it means like book moves. So inaccuracy by me, he's still good. Inaccuracy by me, he's still good. Inaccuracy by me, like almost like I'm a human being. Mistake, like I'm actually not fucking perfect. When is he gonna make an inaccuracy? Never. He never does. Everything is just good. All right, all the inaccuracies are mine. Forgive me for not being fucking perfect. Good. Like, is it the Kramnik effect, or am I actually... Like, how? How are you this perfect in a position that's very weird, too? Like, that was obviously a mistake. Like, I don't know why I even did that. Like, what was I supposed to do there? It's always these weird filler sort of moves that I don't like to do. Like, oh, just move the king or do something innocuous. He makes one mistake here somewhere, which is that, okay, doing it early, I can kind of understand. You attack the queen. But then, see, he could have checked. He could have done that and, like, checked. Then I take with the queen. Then he maybe can't do a whole lot. Alright, so I keep getting consistently shocked by this. In fact, I want to look at that in some kind of engine just to show, like, they're playing at a high level. Like, that's what they're doing. I can accept it, but this is... It's impressive. Or now it won't even let me see that, will it? God. Not only does this site not have a good engine, but then it won't let me fucking even see it again. Like, what if I just copy this and then somehow, oh my god. Why do all these fucking websites suck, man? Yeah, I'm kind of stunned by that, though. Like, forgive me for making fun of that site or something. Like, everybody on there is a fucking god. I don't even know what to tell you. So I had time left, and I could have still done okay, but it seems to be like the late middle game or the end game is my weakness, right? Somehow, either because I start to get low on time at that point, or I start to... Like, how would I even do this? If I wanted to, like, compare... Like, I'll just translate it to here. Like, it's worth studying this. This is my form of studying when I'm just in shock and disbelief. Like, I don't understand how... It just feels impossible, honestly, because, again, I'm not good, right? I'm an average player, maybe below average, whatever. I've never studied. I don't know openings. But there gets to a point, like, what is it that these people are doing then? They're coming in with some fundamental knowledge, right? They've studied the game, right? Somehow. Or they're somehow faster, but like something feels off because you can't really play like that unless you're really experienced. So I underestimate maybe how much people have studied or things like that. So let's go again. We do the pawns here. All right, let's let it stop here a little bit. Will it even give you an accuracy if I am doing this? Like, okay, then we go here with the knight. Then there with the bishop. And this is all normal stuff in the opening. You can't really be too keen, but you have pushes a pawn there for the knight. Bishop goes here. Wait, oh. Goes there. Yeah, let's actually study this game. So you got from the queen side up one here. Wait. Oh, it's just telling that he should have castled. Okay, so we bring the knight on this side. These are on opposite sides, so it keeps throwing me off. Or no, that's what he's fucking. It's not even gonna tell me like an accuracy amount, but whatever. It's impressive though. Again, towards the end, that's mainly my weakness. I still did have some time left. I had maybe like 3 minutes. Of course, he has like 7, 8 minutes, so he's just way better. So that's fine. But um, yeah, let's do some of the other formats. I mean, I can't believe it. Read books for 20 years, and you'll be a 1200 on here, I guess. Like, I don't know who these people are. Like, I cannot identify. There's just something weird about it. I don't really buy it. You would have to be like a borderline fucking professional player because I've shown in certain things like, oh yeah, I can beat a 2000 on chess.com or chess at times, not consistently, whatever. Certainly with enough time or in like a classical setting. But I don't know. I don't. Something about it just feels weird where maybe you can't read into the ratings too much. Or again, my style of play is very limited where like I'd have to be very like, there's a lot of weaknesses because like, oh, if they do anything not that doesn't fit into that, then that can throw me off a lot. I'm playing it too much like a normal time format. Go here. Sometimes you just gotta keep threatening shit that'll either burn their clock or do something else. Oh wow. This site doesn't give the greatest feedback on terms of checks either. Oh, you see, this I don't even mind because, like, okay, I'm not particularly fast, although as much as I like to take my time, maybe I should be a little faster by now. I just almost try not even to do that because then it makes you play worse, right? Like, oh, you could be faster, but you'd rather be slow and take your time and do better. The 3-minute games can be pretty reasonable. Like let's try to understand. At what point is it that they totally just play at some level that I can't even explain? And it's not necessarily in the opening to say like, oh, even they studied openings, but something weird starts to happen later on in the game that I just can't deal with. Because I do sort of rely on these very comfortable sort of positions that sometimes you can't, always do that, or as the game drags on, it won't be like that. So that still doesn't have enough cover. This always seems like a good position for the bishop if you can keep it there. So, or that sort of is my weakness too. Sometimes I'll just like bail out with a trade almost where that's just a mistake. Like, I don't know. Right, like he could have just taken it with the knight and then that. Like trade everything, fuck it. This is always an appropriate thing to do. Just like these thoughtless sort of moves. You're just doing stuff just to do something. Right, that these sort of faster time formats encourage. See, now I should be fine because I'm uh once you get down to this level of material, but even then sometimes I mess up. You take here, then take there. This should be relatively good now. Just don't blunder the rook or something stupid. Oh, shit. So now I have plenty of time so I don't have to even move too fast. But it's a situation where oh, see, he should have never done that because the bishop pair could have almost equalized with this a little bit. Okay. I mean, it feels like a big accomplishment when you win like one single game. I just think there's certain fundamentals that I just don't either I don't understand or I don't like to do. I just kind of like to do whatever my style is, but there is a principle like that that even better players talk about, like, oh, don't get too comfortable with like a certain style that works at a certain level because then they'll hinder you at a higher level. But it's not like the level should be that high anyway right now. It's just this is all pretty basic. So see, now it should be so simple. It shouldn't be that hard to do anything crazy. You have this one here. Okay, I'll happily take that now, even if you get like a pawn out of it, which you shouldn't even get. I mean, the one mechanic you gotta watch out for with the knight is just a fucking fork. That would have actually been a pretty good move. That because I'm hitting that and the uh, rook and the uncovered knight. So now it's almost impossible to cover them. Or, I mean, you could bring the thing there, or oh, that's good too. But no, then I still get it. Whatever. I'm still happy with the trade. Yeah, it becomes where there's certain pieces that you just can't cover, but maybe I should be more selective with mine. Oh, I'm not even paying attention to the fact that I could get back rank there. Now this pawn should be very strong because it's isolated from the rest. This is almost like I could go here and then here to stop the king from coming in. Or I guess, no, I couldn't have even done that, but now if you go here, that could do something. I could check here and then do something with that after the fact. It almost feels like this should be enough at a certain point where the problem with this is the king will keep coming in and harassing this. Where, oh my god. Okay, this is still covered though. But again, you assume he's not going to be able to do that. Right? Sometimes you just have to keep switching the pawns that you're doing. Like he's not going to be able to you're not going to be able to save that no matter what. So now if you take, then I take the rook, but actually it'll be a check. Oh god. So now you'd win easily. You win easily because you can't even do anything. Or maybe I'm a little bit off of that. You'd cover it like most of the way. I go up, he goes there, I go up, he goes back. So it's like you have to almost wait a little bit for him to. Oh, I don't care. If that's a draw, that's fine. I mean, I don't care. All right. You know, you're getting draws in a 3-minute blitz game at 1200 rating, but oh no, people will say, oh no, it's only a draw if you play a perfect game, or oh, it's only a draw if, you know, at the highest level. No, it's not. That's just how the game works. If you play it with any fucking awareness of how it works or any even level matchup. That's sort of what triggers me, right? Like it's not even about winning or losing. It's like that's going to happen super often at every level, and it's like oh, you can just take there. All right. Opening theory, study opening theory, fucking garbage fucking game. It's like that would be true with anything, to be fair. There's always going to be some sort of meta or theory. It's just like he's already playing badly because you're not supposed to move the queen this much at the beginning. Or it's like certain things that you're already aware of, but you just don't do them because you're under time pressure, or again, I worry about that too much ahead of time. Hard to say where I want this bishop to actually even go, the light square bishop. Almost like you want to go here. Now the knight becomes a definite desire to trade. And the reason why is because it's typically just in the way. So this is a perfectly fine position. I just have to figure a way to... He should probably castle, but he's not. You can't take there. I could try to double take. I would take, he would take, I would take, he would take. But why? Why? He brings like the knight in. Okay, okay. It's almost like sometimes you're meant to go up here. Because like now I'm double attacking with the thing. If I go back, then the queen comes there, and it could be worse. I go back, the queen comes there, then he's threatening a mate. I move across. I should still be able to escape. What? Fuck happened? I didn't think he'd go on that side. I thought he'd come here. Alright. Okay, let's finish the rotation with the 960. 10 minutes. Generally, historically, I've done pretty good in 960, although I haven't played it that much. But who knows? This website is mind-boggling. That this is actually better than chess.com. This is the most competitive, best player base you've ever seen. And the ratings are deceiving because, 1200 plays like a 2000. So fuck it. I mean, there's nothing you can do. This will be somewhat active, but then I was, like, oh, everybody's the same rating, so it doesn't seem that good, but you can't really judge a game like chess at the entry level that way either because, like either you've studied the game or you haven't. Either you're a professional or you're not. Like anything in between is sort of meaningless. That's why like the mid-level, that sort of stuff is stupid because it doesn't really prove anything, right? Like unless you're really good, 2000 plus at least, then it's meaningless because I don't know what I'm trying to even do. But again, assuming this is what pisses me off is like maybe I don't know, like obviously what you're doing with this position, but he does. He somehow will, right? He'll know exactly what he's doing and do it perfectly. And just I'm fucking up my lights for bishop maybe too much, but this could be a good knight position. I'd be happy even if he trades that because it's in such a bad spot. That seems kind of cute, but not a whole lot is happening. Again, if you take that, it's fine. The other aspect is the fact that this would be good to open up a file, and the rook, if he pushes, I can still take. Now the queen is somewhat active here. You push this, I can still take. So I want to develop this and maybe create like a double stack. Possibly you could cover this and then trap the bishop here pretty easily. But you're hitting this already. And then you have very sort of stale position that we have so far, but take here, you take here, you can take there with the knight. That's a good move. Or with that, okay. You push this, it's sort of like a fork, but I gotta really just move that bishop away somehow, and I can't figure out really. Oh, okay. All right. Was that like a misclick, or he? I mean, he was gonna get that anyway. All right, all right. You got to be in a certain mood, I guess, and I just haven't. This is ridiculous. Or at least maybe I'm moving too fast in some of these, but you could have taken that for free though, so I don't get it. I gotta just trade everything and then at least I have a chance. But no, I should really take my time. That's what I would do in classical. Like at the beginning of a game, I'd take my time like crazy. Right, like it'd take me 10 minutes on the opening, and it's like, oh, the other guy took 2 minutes because he knows openings, because of course everybody does, just study and stuff. But that would have been fine because, like, then it doesn't matter, right? Because in a 30-minute game, you can afford to do that to some extent. You take there, whatever, so should at least have to trade. Fine, I'm fine with it. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done. Or no, I should have at least. I thought I was gonna trade queen somehow. That was just Yeah, you have to be in a certain mindset. That first game just always tilts me that I can't believe how good people are like that. Um, yeah, maybe you can't judge the ratings or the sites. Like, maybe that's part of the thing with the site is like the highest rated people are only 15 to 19. So this guy's actually a super GM, right? It's just that this site is kind of maybe skewed like that somehow. Although I doubt even titled players and stuff would play on here. Like 14 on here might mean more or something. I don't know. Because if that's all that there is, it's hard to explain sometimes. Right? The consistency between the sites and everything like that. Yeah, it's kind of sad that this is the only other site that has any activity on it whatsoever. I feel like there's something about online. Not that this is an excuse, but in fact, in theory, I'm the same person who said like, "Oh, you could just become a GM by just doing this." Like, you wouldn't need a tutor. You wouldn't even need to play over the board. Just by studying online or whatever, and just by playing online for a long period, you could obviously, uh, activity reports. Like, what could the activity be? What could you be doing that's you're just BMing and trolling people? I had done this on. I had done this on that challenge actually, where like I'm doing the permadeath websites. The problem is no site is even active enough to justify that. Like there's very few. 10 best places. Like there aren't even 10 places, period. Right? Those two are to be expected. I doubt Chess Hotel would even be on here because it's maybe a bit newer. But I mean, it's more active than all of these except for the top two, basically. I feel like this wasn't even working. Again, some of these are just super dead and inactive. Yeah, that's sort of the misconception that people have is like, oh, people will say online ratings are inflated or whatever, but to whatever extent they are, right? Like once you get to a certain level, that speaks for itself. So it doesn't matter, right? If you get to 2,000 on one of these sites, then you go to an over the board event, maybe you're 1,800, but like you can be at least confident in that it has some meaning to it. Like it doesn't like there's some prestige to that. Like, oh, you have to go over the board and have this and that. But if you're 2,500 on here on one of these sites, which would be really hard to do, like that one guy, Little Fire Rat slash uh take notes for me. I forget why he had the multiple names, but he was like 2,400 on Lichess. He probably still is, or maybe higher. So like, and he doesn't go to events because he can't afford it and it's difficult. And I get all that. So it's like, he's legitimately like a very good player, could be a titled player almost, NM or something, a lesser title, but you can do that just by studying, just by playing online. You don't need any special like, oh, tutor or go in person or over the board. You don't need all that. You can just do it. If you have the motivation and you have the time and you have the effort level, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't take anything special. Right? Even though people diminish the online ratings, it's like it comes to the same thing because it comes to the same thing. It'll speak for itself. Sure, it might be inflated a little bit, but it's still good. Like relatively, if you're 24 on there, that's still better than the vast, vast majority of people. In fact, that is like a professional entry thing. Like the only players you're going to be playing or beating or losing to are going to be title players. Like how do you even do that? Right? Like that's very very impressive, and in some ways it's kind of sad that you would have to, you know, well, not really though. That's what I mean. It still translates. Like, oh, it's they can't play over the board because it's difficult to go, and obviously, oh, he maybe fell a little bit, but the point is that you can be as good as you want to be in this context, and then when you finally do go to an event, or it's sort of the provisional boost too that you're playing with, like you don't play for a while, then you lose one game and it costs you like 100 rating or 50 rating, or vice versa. You can kind of try to cheese that too. You don't play for a while, and then you win a couple games, and then you gain like 100. Whereas if you had won those couple before, normally it would only give you like 20 or 30 because each one's giving you like 10. So the only thing I was doing on here was like the bot. Like, let me try the level 7 bot and see if I do better against that than, players on that site. I think I have like a certain negative attitude though sometimes. Like I shouldn't get so uh discouraged when they're doing that. Like sometimes they'll make mistakes too later, but it just feels weird sometimes how these people play. Right, so this is level 7, which I haven't beaten, but I think I almost drew it in one of them, and I haven't played it that many times. But the level 6 one was challenging. There's no question about it. And it's amazing the night and day difference that not worrying about time can make, although I still, haven't really taken that long. And against most of these, like, it doesn't feel right to take forever, but I could sit here for hours and then I'm sure I could beat it. Like, right, that's the effort level that people don't realize. If you're willing to sit there for long enough, you can do a lot with it. And we already messed up the opening. You should just do it, but then sometimes they won't still. Like, why not? Take, then you can't take, but the king is open. See, like, we already botched an opening that's very basic, very obvious, very simple. The pins that I always worry about. Now, he's pinned there, but is he going to have some sort of other... Oh, I'm just made it. Okay, that was a little bit. I like how long they even take on the last move for some reason. Like they unemotionally calculate that the same way as a person would do anything else, even though that's so obvious. Right? That in fact that's sometimes how you know how somebody's cheating, even at an intermediate to a higher level. Like they'll take as long to do a simple mate, like a 2-3 move sequence that a GM would easily see, whereas the rest of the game, they're moving just as fast. So they move like the same speed every time for a move that's like, wow, that's a really good move in the middle game that might be hard to see, and it took you like 5 seconds. But oh, then this mate will also take you 5 seconds. That seems too long. This should be super obvious. So, but I hate that about the whole online aspect is that anybody could be cheating anytime, and you never know, and you can never be sure of that. And then, um, on the flip side, people will come up with all these kind of extrapolated theories and try to, come up with conspiracies and stuff as to how anybody could be cheating at any time. So it's sort of just you never really know with the online thing. Even with the in person, that shows you how stupid people are. Right? The same people who would say, "Oh, this person like, oh, don't be paranoid." Again, the whole Kramnik thing about people cheating online at the moderate to high level, especially when there's money on the line and whatever. Um, and what people don't realize is you could disguise it so easily. This is the problem. It'll be a really good player who just needs like 1 or 2 moves, right? that'll determine the outcome of a game. It's not like you'd have to be cheating every single move and you're like a 1200 who's playing like a GM. It doesn't mean that you'd be using it every move and make it super obvious and have like 100% accuracy. It'd be like, oh, just one or two moves that could be the difference between you winning or losing this game or something, right? So they could easily disguise it. And number two is that the same people who would dismiss, online cheating issues would be, oh, on the Hans Niemann bandwagon that he cheated in person or over the board, or the anal beads thing. So that's the problem with it, is you believe that somebody could cheat in person, but you don't believe that they could do it online. That'd be so much easier to do. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of dumb how people. Okay, so today I'll take another crack at the Chess Hotel, and I keep getting tilted by people seeming to be too good. So maybe I'm reading into the rating too much, or whatever, just getting tilted at some point in the game. So let's just try it. And the reason why I'm able to show my chat and stuff like this is because it's not it's not this site has like ads and shit on it on the side anyway, so I don't need to show that. So the problem at the beginning is sometimes you play too fast, and the reason, see, that's even tempting, but I should just cancel, get this over with. This move is annoying, even though there are responses to it. There's just like a lack of comfort there in the opening. Okay. I might have to go back, and they might do some fried liver shit or something like. Oh my god. But I'm threatening to at least double take that, but then you can't actually do it because. Oh my god. You can't actually do it, and the reason why you can't do it is because then you'll pin it in such a way that, like, what am I even supposed to do with that? You're supposed to like go here, which is stupid because then you're assuming too much. I mean, I don't know. I just can't. They beat me with their opening prep. Like, whatever this is just stupid because I can't do anything. Now you could move the knight and you could take the knight, or I don't care. Right, you could move the knight and then it's already under attack, or you could push the pawn and then it's basically trapped. But for some reason, you expect that they're not going to do that, right? You just have to know that that's not a good move to do. Yes, he could expose the king, but like, why is that worth it to give up a knight? Man, like, I just don't know what to do with that. Yeah, I'm just losing, like, just straight to openings. That's all it is. I can't play openings anymore, or people here have studied them for 20 years, I guess, and just know everything about them. So, like, can I not just castle? Is that not a possibility to do? And again, if you attack this knight, there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna lose it. But okay, I'm happy with that. I mean, this is the aspect of the game that's just annoying because it feels like. But I do have enough time. I should sit here for like 10 minutes and flag and just try to figure out the opening, because yeah, that's a sign of being really smart or something. Is like, still, that knight is still fucked. I mean, I gotta give it to you, man. I gotta give it. Like, there's nothing I can do with that. I just can't. I mean, just now there may be some perceptible benefit that must come from that, but I don't. Or you know what I'll do? So if you take, I take the bishop. That's the only response I can think of. Which you can't rely on that because there's no guarantee his bishop's gonna be there. And even here, it might be worth it to take and then take. There might be some mating sequence in there, but so now it's still about to get taken, and that's just the reality. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing. There's nothing you can do. It's just gone. And this is what the knight is meant for. Like, this is all it's good for. I can't do anything. I mean, I'll still try to like trade for the bishop, and it like what is this? What is this position here? I got to study this. Like I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. Why did that happen? Why is the knight so shitty? What the fuck? So now the good thing with that is you are actually getting in some form the rook because it can't move there. So that was semi. Wait, what? Oh no, okay, you're not. Never mind. Now, normally I'd like to trade the queen, but I can't afford to because whatever position they gave me is more aggressively inclined because like, oh, their king is open, which that can be a strategic benefit, but just give up the knight for it. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Let me just try to finish developing here. Again, they got a very strong pawn position here that just ruins the. Again, I'll study this opening because I can't. I don't know what it is. That's the thing with openings is like the helplessness you feel, especially in the modern era. It's like there's nothing to think about with openings. It's like either you know them or you don't. Simple. Like there's nothing to even think about. You cannot even. Okay, you can take that. I don't care. You can check here. I don't know. This knight is actually kind of bothering me because I want this gone so that I could even put the bishop here, and then it's very scary because you're one move away from a mating sequence. But again, that knight's just gonna sit there for fucking ever, so I can't even do anything. If you move that, this gets taken. If you move this, technically nothing gets taken. Although maybe this. Okay. Alright. But again, I need the queen, and the reason why I need the queen is because you gotta have some attack that you get out of the fact that his king is open. So that wasn't even me like playing badly or something. It's just like I genuinely don't know what to do with that. And there are positions like that with the knight that I just can't explain. Right, like it's just a bad piece. It's objectively a bad piece, and people try to argue for it against it. Like, I just can't explain it. If I go here, like he's gonna take some pawn here like that. I'll just let him have it. If he end Pizance, I can take. If he doesn't, then this opens up something for the queen as well to take. So he can take, I can take. And then you're basically just one sequence away from mating, but it's never going to actually happen. But this opens things up a bit. Again, the end Pizan is fine. If you don't end this quickly, he could really punish you, but there's nothing more he can take right now. We're attacking the uncovered knight. And again, this check could be deadly because, again, all I need is the bishop in there, and then it's over. I could push this. This pawn is looking pretty strong. So now I'll attack into the bishop and pose this and be ready to check all at the same time. And he just gave up the knight. So that is the sort of recovery that you need, and somewhat aided by the aggressiveness of the position. It's very hard to free up the king when you're in these kind of positions because this is very deadly. No matter what he's doing on this side, doesn't really matter. Look at that recovery, though. Now I actually have a chance, despite the bullshit busted opening that I don't understand what you're supposed to do. I could have just like undeveloped it, just go back to where it started, which is normally what I do, but I was trying to do what I feel like I've seen in the engine analysis before, like, oh, you're supposed to just put it out there and who knows like whether they can trap it or not, but then you just expect that they won't. Like, it's a very annoying way of thinking. Like, they could just do this, but they won't do it because at the more advanced level, oh, it's not worth it to do that, and there's some strategic other consideration. Like, it's nice to think that, but you don't know that, like, you're not good enough to really be able to do that. Now he's thinking hard, and it's an even match now, though. At least I can accept what's. Oh, that's the worst thing he could have done, because now we get this attack into a free up of the bishop. So now he's screwed, because by the time he reacts to this, we get this, and it's over. There's nothing he can do. He lost. So hey, giving up that knight sure served a good fucking purpose. The knight finally does something useful, because we give it up to create this, even though I didn't want to create this. I didn't want to do that, but I gotta analyze it, because this is, when you get triggered, like, explain to me. No, it's too fast. Okay. What is this opening, and what am I supposed to do with it? Explain it to me. Explain it to me. What is it? What do I do? What do I do? You're trying to tell me you ignore this, just go straight for this, then if they end Pizan, it's fine. If they don't, they move the bishop. I wish you could actually... Okay, so you're not supposed to move it, actually, right? That's bad. You're supposed to take this and... Wait, you are supposed to take it, though. Well... And what you do is you sort of confuse and overlap positions with each other. There might be some other similar position that's not exactly the same, where, oh, you are supposed to move it like to the edge of the board like I did. So like, oh, that's the right line. I remember seeing that in the engine before, but it's not that exact situation. That's the hardest thing to know. Remember exactly like that. Yeah, that was a good recovery. I like the tenacity there, even though it's very frustrating. I did have the right idea to make the most of that. Like, oh, there's got to be some good aggressive position with that. With the king being open, and the whole beauty of it is knowing that don't trade the queen, right? That's the right instinct there, that a lot of people might make that mistake. If I traded the queen there, I have a 0% chance of winning. No matter what would have happened, I would not have won that game. Right, but you keep the queen alive, so now you make some attack out of it, and you can actually put pressure, because I mean that's the big standard of attacking players, right? Is if you don't have the queen, you're basically screwed, because you can't attack without it. It's there's no such thing. People might defend it and say, oh no, but GMs can still attack and stuff, but effectively you need the queen on the board. If you trade queens, you're fucked, right? That ruins every attack. It's just completely... I mean, unless you're sacking the queen for an attack. Like, even if you're trading it, you're doing it for some advantageous position that'll then benefit. But generally speaking, this maybe is even more worth it than I think with the 6 for 6, just because of how annoying... Just because of how annoying the knight can be. Like, now we can guarantee the 6 for 6. They can't do anything about it. Or at least, like, the take here. So, if I'm desperate to trade off a knight and they're not giving me a good opportunity to do it, then the 6 for 6, which just means obviously bishop and knight for the rook and the pawn, that is very logical, because it forces them to trade it. And again, as much as I think the knight is just a clown... Oh, fuck me. Shouldn't this be kind of an adequate thing, though? I would take, they would take... No, it's not. I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take, but how? Now they can move the knight freely and attack my bishop, or my knight. Well, now you have this, but it won't work, because I would take, they would take, I would take... Well, they do kind of have to address it, though. Might not be the right sequence, but like... See, if they take, I take, then I'm attacking the queen, so they have to take. They can't take this. Otherwise, So now, can I do something? Even here, it's not really a very good clean spot to be in. So now we're in a comfort zone. If we can just survive the knight's shittiness in the opening, I'm usually pretty comfortable, but it's a very, very hard thing to do when the piece is trying to sabotage you the whole game. It's very, very tough. You go here, I don't mind taking. I mean, I don't see what that really matters, but maybe I sometimes go for the trades too easily. I mean, you had to know what you were doing, otherwise you wouldn't have done that, so why? I almost would have liked to pin that with the bishop, come to think of it. You take here, I don't see anything immediately crazy from that. But yeah, I mean, everything seems kind of comfortable here. I create these kind of positions, and this is what it's all about for me, is that I basically feel like you want to create positions that are just easy to play, easy to calculate, and attacking is kind of very alien to that because when you attack, you have to kind of look above and beyond and do this in such a way that that just doesn't happen. So. Give a check here, although I don't see what it really does meaningfully. I could go here and attack the bishop itself. If I attack the bishop itself, no reason you can't just cover it. No sneaky plays for the knight that you can do, though. This is kind of cute because you're at least trying to unleash the... if you move the knight, of course, you can take this. But yeah, now if you move this pawn, I take the queen. That's kind of cute, but I can do a 2 for... Oh, shit. I can give a check here, I guess. You could attack back again with the bishop again, and there's a lot of these repetitive moves that can be annoying as hell. But you don't do it, and then now if you push the pawn, I can take... No, I can't, though. Take this, they take there. Take this, although sometimes it's not the opportune time to really do that. Right, there's a lot of other things going on, but... And in fact, that still doesn't solve the problem. If I go here, the problem is they just raise it. They don't actually have to take it. So they'll take here, which I shouldn't allow that, but I can't figure out how to really protect it. If I go here, then you're blocking the lights for bishop. And I don't know if I want to take that either. I'll just do it, but I don't understand why. Right, so you can take, you can attack the thing, and then I'm forced to move this anyway in a way that's going to fuck up my whole position. So that probably wasn't a good move. Again, and not only is it not a good move, but it doesn't suit my style of being so defensive. Why would I do a move like that? Sometimes you have to make the best of what you have, like what I did there. But okay, now this is an easy take because now by taking here, you take and then I take. Even if you go here, I can just ignore it and double take. So that was a fuck up by him. Because now you pull this away and then I take here, or you take here and then I take here attacking the queen, and then oh no, you take the rook, but then you have to address the queen take. Then even if you do somehow take, then I take there. That's good. Now again, what you do now is don't try to be too aggressive, or then I'll fuck up. Try to play very defensively and just milk your piece advantage, which is sometimes a bad thing. Obviously against really good players you have that, but you have to do that, like where you keep pushing the advantage. But I just kind of get complacent now, like, oh, that's good enough, and I just deal with it. But so he could take that. The problem is then it turns into a pin on the queen where I could maybe address that, and they can't bring cover for it. Right, so it's a bit of a trick. doing a little better in this session, although I'm still talking a lot, unlike what I said I was gonna do. One thing I've had an urge to do is almost do like a story game lately, or kind of like anything besides the same shit over and over. Or actually, what I'm obligated to do is Hearthstone because I want to get that fucking Spectral Ner'zhul thing, but I don't know how long that's going to be the reward for the underground arena, but it's not like I'm experienced with the recent arena either, such that I could do that. Like, it's very hard for me to come up with something adequately aggressive where it really feels like it's hard not to be lazy when you're winning. And so those are two bad tendencies of low rated play. You might be pretty good and beat the majority of people at your level, low level, whatever. But then there's two problems. You don't have to excel and really try your hardest and play to your potential or calculate a lot or anything like that, because you can get away with, oh, people are just going to make mistakes. And then, especially even when you are winning, you can just kind of ride it out and you don't have to really try super hard. So both in a winning position and in an overall beneficial position, like just the game overall of playing at a low level, there's an incentive to basically not try your best because you don't have to, because you can get away with it. So that teaches you almost bad habits, which again, you could say that's true about a lot of things. Like at a low level, you don't have to excel, but that's kind of how you know somebody is going to be a great one at some sport or something, right? Competitive. If they put that extra effort, even when they don't have to, even though that can sometimes seem almost embarrassing, like, oh, you shouldn't have to do that, or you're like a try hard and you get like that reputation. Like, why are you trying so hard? Oh, it's just a game. Like, you're at that low level. But the people who try that extra mile and go the extra mile, even at the low level, even when they don't have to, those are the ones to be really scared of, because it's like, okay, you don't even have to do it, but you're still doing it anyway. So now that's very impressive, right? This is kind of scary, this diagonal here. You could double take something onto there, but I don't even care about that. I just want, like, if he brings the Darksphere Bishop, really not a big deal because of the simple fact that, or no, I guess he can't even do that. I thought he could double take there, but okay, dude. If it wasn't for the Darksphere Bishop, now I'll almost settle for this for the trade because of the simple fact that not a good move probably, but I don't care. Right? Even if I lose a pawn, like I'm willing to do it. So this is when I make my worst moves because it's like I'm in a good position. Not really that good though. I mean, he has a bishop pair next to a compared to a rook. Like the bishop pair, if used properly, might equalize with the fact that I'm up a rook for one of the bishops. But yeah, we want to trade. If he doesn't trade, I don't know whether pushing this is really what I should be doing now, but you have to keep putting pressure. That's one of my weaknesses. Like, I won't do that where, like, I'll be up, but I won't put the adequate amount of pressure that you need to put. They would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. You could put it here. I can't say for sure why. Okay, dude. Okay. Like, you try to move the knight and incorporate the knight, and this is what you get, man. What you got? All right, so whatever advantage I would have had is now evaporated, which is fine. And I still have more time too, but I mean, that's the kind of move that just makes me not, you know, it just shows you I don't care enough. Like, I don't care. It's just so trash. Like, why would you do that? Why do I have to do that? I can't even explain it. That's what you should have to do, is explain. I'm just trying to get a shitty piece incorporated, involved. Oh, it's an octopus knight. How cute. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, the vast majority of my, okay, I'll take that, but the vast majority of my bad moves are either um something involving the knight, either the knight's getting harassed or I'm trying to involve it or rely on it or do something like that. Or it's the fact that of trying to trade. Like I'll be in a good position and then I'll try to trade when I don't need to do that. And the reason why is because it's just kind of lazy. Like, oh, it'd be great if they just traded this and it'd be over, but you know what I mean? Like it's not the best move to just present the trade. And if they're a decent player, they're not going to do the trade. So because like in the last game I kind of showed that myself. Oh, if I just traded queens they easily would have won, but then I was disciplined and I didn't do it, and then I was able to create an attack. So there are a lot of positions like that. You might be down material, but the position might not be that bad, and you might still have some attacking chance. But then again, if they play well, it won't really matter. So now we can try to check and do this, and then it's just super easy. Even if they get a pawn, but they won't even get a pawn as a result. So if they take, and then I can just push it. I have a couple pawns here on this side too. Oh shit, if I get like fucked by the... If I get fucked by the fork or whatever of that, that could be a problem. You are out of league game. What? Oh, that's a troll. The one day I actually do well. Oh, come on. I always do badly, so I never get to see that. And then the one time I do well, I have to do that. Maybe that means that's enough, but at least that was a triumphant session that... Wait, what do I have to do? I'd have to, like, buy the shit. Imagine buying premium on this fucking site. Like, imagine doing that. Holy shit, I'm only on this site in the first place because I got exiled from the other one because I failed my fucking permanent challenges and shit. That is so hilarious. So when I start to do well here, now they make me have to do that.